everyone, welcome to episode 3 of my podcast, Anastasia Scouting Report. I'm titling this one Winter Storm because that's currently what's going on right now. I'm going to try to have this out for you guys on time, okay? As always, this will be timestamped if you're watching on YouTube and all the podcast apps and everything. And then for the visual viewers, I will be throwing in some stats and some visual aids, okay? Let's get started this week, okay? So obviously talking about UConn first. So I believe they played 3 games since the last time I did a podcast, okay? So I'll go through some stats and kind of talk about how I'm feeling. So let's talk about Notre Dame first. So AZ Fudd, one of my GOATs, okay? She played 37 minutes, 15 points, 7 of 13 shooting, 0-4 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throw. She had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks. Overall, I thought AZ played well in this game, okay? Always finding a way to make something shake, even if her shot isn't necessarily falling, and she ended up efficient, which we love to see. Defense is always going to be locked down as well. The way that she's able to facilitate whenever she needs to. She just does so many great things, okay? And just, you know what you're going to get from AZ Fudd, okay? So still finishing with 15, so things that we'd love to see. I have friends who are homosexual, and hell, by the way, one of my mutuals on Twitter literally made a whole, highlight compilation of her locking her up. So I'll try to put that down below in the description, the link if you guys want to check that out. And Sarah Strong, 33 minutes played, 18 points, 8 of 12 shooting, 1 of 4 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throws. She had 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. Sarah Strong just playing her game. You know, whenever she drives, you just can't stop her, okay? Hitting a 3 in this game, she might have had a mini this game, just doing a little bit of everything, and then defensively when you have 3 steals and 3 blocks, just an awesome player. And I'm pretty sure this was the game where Sarah Strong officially reached 1,000 points, okay? And I believe that she did it in 59 games, okay? So second fastest to do it. Maya Moore and Paige Beckers are tied at number 1 for 55 games. So huge accomplishment for Sarah Strong. Already a sophomore and best sophomore in the country, and just what she's doing spectacular. So just Sarah playing her game as always, okay? We had Sarah Williams, 24 minutes played, 11 points, 5 of 6 shooting. She had no threes, 1 of 2 free throws. She had a rebound, 2 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. Overall, I thought she played well. Okay? Efficient from the field, liked her defense in this game too, so for the most part, I can't really complain. Ashlyn Shade, 27 minutes played, 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 for the 3, 0 2 free throws. She had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and no turnover, no steal, and no block. One of Ashlyn Shade's better games. Y'all know how I feel about Ashlyn Shade, okay? And then we go on to KK Arnold. 26 minutes played. She had 12 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3, 3 free throws, 2 rebounds. She had 5 assists to 1 turnover, which I love, and then she had 2 steals and no blocks. Overall, I'm pretty sure this was the game where she kind of found a balance between getting her own shot and still finding a way to get others involved, because I feel like when it comes to KK, she's either trying to get other people involved or she's just shooting, trying to get something to happen for herself. So for the most part, I thought she did good things with that. And then, you know, the full court press and the defense is KK's calling card. So for the most part, I thought it was good. And then the 2 players I want to talk about off the bench, Blanca Quinones. So she played 23 minutes, 8 points, 4 of 11 shooting, 0-5 from the 3. And she had no free throws in this game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 turnovers, okay? Not pleased by that. And she had 1 steal and 1 block. So yeah, Blanca just did not play well in this game. I was just frustrated. I think she just wants it to happen so badly. Like, she wants to have a play for herself or set other people up for a play so badly that we have the turnovers, taking some shots that she shouldn't necessarily take and everything. And when you have 5 turnovers, I just can't praise that. I hate turnovers, okay? And that's one of the things that I said about Paige. Paige made me value efficiency. If I see 3 turnovers in the game, that's too many to me, okay? So having to take better care of the basketball and just making some bad plays in this game. Had moments where she was able to be effective, but it just wasn't a good game for Blanca straight up, okay? And then K9, 19 minutes played, 9 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 3 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throws, 1 rebound, 3 assists, no turnover, 1 steal, and no blocks. I like more often than not what K9 was doing in this game. Had some nice plays for herself and starting to gain a little bit more of that confidence, which I love to see. Okay, talking about Notre Dame's players, I have friends who are homosexual. 38 minutes played, she had 16 points, 5 of 15 shooting, and 1 of 6 from the 3, 5 of 6 free throws, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnover, 3 steal, and 1 block. So AZ had her in hell, and they switched, so you saw some KK and, you know, some other players on her as well, but just making sure that you make every shot that she has to take difficult, making her take some contested stuff, making her have to give up the ball, getting her to turn it over and stuff. There was a point in the second quarter Where there was definitely a lapse in this game and she got free a couple times and I didn't like that. But generally I thought that they did a good job defending her and everything. And so this is how teams are going to play her. If you guys have seen that game, whenever Michigan played her, they had her in hell. She was 4 of 21 from the field and Yale Ivy left her in so she could stat pad, mind you. And I watched the game in real time. Yeah, they had her in a blender. Okay, they made her work for every single shot that she got. So that's just how she's going to be played. You're going to see them coming out with the double teams and just really making it difficult because she's their only source of offense. Cassandra Prosper, 39 minutes, 12 points, 6 of 15 shooting. Don't love that, not efficient. 0-1 from the 3. She had no free throws, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and 1 block. So has some nice stuff in this game, has some open middies. I'm not that high on her as a player, but that's my opinion. My friend tends to like her, so maybe I'll watch some more tape and change my opinion. And now we go to Callis, I believe, number 5, 23 minutes played, 5 points, 2 of 5 shooting. No threes, 1 of 2 free throws, 2 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. So had a good moment or two, but 2 of 5 from the field isn't great. And then we go on to Vanessa De Jesus, 33 minutes played, had 2 points, 1 of 4 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, no free throws, 2 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block. Okay, so y'all know she don't move me. Okay, and then Iana Moore, 36 minutes played, had 6 points. 2 of 7 shooting, 0-5 from the 3, 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, no steal and no block. So yeah, not that move. The bench, Sanchez gave you 6 points, but there's not really much to talk about, okay? I'll talk about the advanced stats for this game. So UConn from the field, they were 35 of 63. And that's going to be 56%, 6 of 24 from the 3-point line, 25%, 9 of 14 from the free throw line, 64%, 39 total rebounds, 7 offensive, and 32 defensive. 22 assists, 10 steals, 5 blocks, 12 total turnovers in this game, and 20 points off turnovers, 19 fast break or transition points, 44 points in the paint, 10 fouls, 1 tech in this game, and then the largest lead was going to be 39, and percent led was 99. And then we look on to Notre Dame. So they were 19 of 52 from the field, 37%, 1 of 16 from 3. I mean, good God. So that's going to be 6%. 6% from Luis Dreadful. 8-10 from the free throw line, 80%. 24 total rebounds in this game. You had 2 offensive rebounds and 22 defensive rebounds, okay? You had 9 assists, 8 steals, 3 blocks, 15 total turnovers, okay? You had 4 points off turnovers, 2 fast breaker transition points, 24 points in the paint. 14 fouls, 1 at tech, largest lead was none, and percent led was none. Scoring by quarter, and so on the first, it breaks down like this. Notre Dame 7, UConn 16. Second quarter was tied, which I don't like, 16-16. Third quarter, Notre Dame had 12, we had 27. And the fourth quarter, Notre Dame had 12, and we had 26. Ultimately, UConn wins 85-47, and then you see the leaders in points, rebounds, and assists. So Sarah Strong leading the way for us with 18 points, 11 rebounds. KK Arnold had 5 assists and 1 turnover. Notre Dame, I have friends who are homosexual, 16 points. Cassandra Prosper, 7 rebounds, and Cassandra Prosper had 3 assists to 2 turnovers, okay? So overall takeaways in that game, we did what we were supposed to do. You know, in the beginning, you just saw the defensive pressure, like I said, you know, that full court press, making every single shot difficult, and just the stifling textbook defense that you come to know and appreciate from UConn, hitting some nice shots. So I liked how it looked in the beginning. Second quarter, you saw the offense get stagnant at times, and then you saw some defensive lapses. So I wasn't pleased. I think we only led by like 9 or something going into the half, which is unacceptable. Also, the zone had us in a blender in the second half. Every time a team plays zone against us, we act like we don't know how to play the game. Okay, so that was frustrating. And then we go into the second half and then just locked in again, did exactly what was needed to be done in terms of the scoring, in terms of facilitating the offense, and then, you know, bringing up the defensive pressure, okay? But yeah, I didn't like how close it got at one point. The only reason I think we didn't take away with it was because the second quarter was horrendous and then the 3-ball was terrible for UConn. So those are the 2 reasons. Overall, we did what we were supposed to do. Watching the game today as I am recording this video, the announcers were talking about, oh, nobody expected UConn to blow out Notre Dame. Have y'all seen Notre Dame this season? Yeah, I expected it. I'll say it. So yeah, that's kind of some of my takeaways on the Notre Dame game. And then I will throw up the stats for the Georgetown game on the screen to the visual viewers. My overall takeaways from that game: needing better ball movement, need to improve how we play against the zone and our zone, how we play that. 3-ball in the gutter, stop the turnovers, extremely ugly game, okay? We did end up winning this game overall. The score is 83-42, but I did not like how it looked at all. Very sloppy, and just the turnovers and the mistakes and having to improve the defensive parts and everything. And like I always say, the habits that you create in these games against inferior opponents are going to translate in the bigger games and everything. So I overall just was was not pleased with this game. It was extremely ugly to watch. Starters, I believe, playing in the fourth quarter. We were in a dogfight with Georgetown of all teams. Like, that was very, very shameful what was going on, okay? And it was bad. So I was not pleased by the Georgetown game. It really irritated me. And then the last game that we just played was the game against Seton Hall. Okay, so I'll read the stats for this one because it was recent. So AZ Flood, 26 minutes played, 14 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 4 from the 3, 1 free throws. You had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and no blocks. Overall, I thought AZ did well with what she was given. Was there a time or two I would have liked to see her take a shot that she passed up to her teammate? Absolutely. But you're telling me the best shooter in the country only has 8 field goal attempted? I'm sorry. Everybody want to talk about shooting guards and the best shooting guards and everything. What shooting guard not getting like 12, 15 field goal attempted in a game? Like I believe I said in my first episode, it's ridiculous. AZ had the first 9 points in this game, okay? We could not score at the beginning. Seton Hall was outscoring us. It was ugly, okay? AZ was the person who brought us out of that. So you see AZ go 4-4 from the field, I believe, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, and she don't really touch the ball much after that. Get AZ her touches. I'm so tired of seeing her run cardio, okay? It's just something that has to be ingrained, and it should have been ingrained. I complain about this in pretty much every UConn review that I do, and some people disagree, but I'm sorry, there's just no world where AZ Flood should only have 8 field goal attempted. Okay, too talented for that and everything, so I didn't agree with that, okay? But you know what she's going to bring offensively. Had some nice shots, hit some threes for you in this game. Had an and one, I believe, as well. Making the free throws, okay? And the defense, just a stifling defense. I think she had a steal into a bucket or something like that. But AZ is just phenomenal, okay? As we always know. Sarah Strong, 27 minutes played. She had 17 points, 7 of 14 shooting, 0-4 from the 3, 3 free throws. You had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnover, 3 steal, and 1 block. Sarah Strong's just excellent. Like I said, her ability to finish at the rim, to hit threes for you, to get in that mid-range area, and defensively, the prowess that she has there, and just, she's a very skilled and technically sound player, so Sarah Strong coming through yet again and being efficient, so we love it. Sarah Williams, 8 minutes played, and she recorded no stats. All she had was 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and 1 block. So yeah, she didn't take any shots. That's basically what I meant to say. So yeah, I don't know why she didn't get any shots, and then she got hurt in this game, so I hope she's okay, but not much to report. Ashlyn Shade, 24 minutes played. She had 9 points, 3 of 9 shooting. She was 3 of 8 from the 3. Why would you take 8 threes? And she had no free throws, 2 rebound, 4 assists, 2 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. Didn't score until the third quarter, by the way. Y'all know Ashlyn Shade don't move me. I don't know why people always try to do Ashlyn Shade PR in my comments. It's never going to eat, y'all. It's never going to eat. I'm not forgetting Michigan. 3 of 10. That will not be wiped from my memory and all the mistakes that was made. And just watching Ashlyn Shade play an extended amount of time, how does Ashlyn Shade have shooters in the year of our Lord 2026? Lord send the flood. Okay, so not pleased, obviously, but it is what it is at this rate. I mean, it just I think she stopped having garbage time too. KK Arnold played 23 minutes, had 7 points, 2 of 4 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws. She had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, no steal, and no block. My overall takeaways on KK Arnold in this game is I would have liked to see double figures, and also it's just like when you a point guard and you only have 1 assist in the game, that's not going to cut it. You need to be leading every single game, okay? And so just the court vision has to improve, okay? That's my main takeaways and all of that. And you know what she's going to bring defensively. That's her calling card, like I already stated. So there's that. The bench, I will talk about 2 players, maybe 3. Blanca, 28 minutes played, 16 points, 7 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3. And she had 1 of 2 free throws, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers. Don't love that number. She did have 3 steals and 1 block, though. Overall, I thought that this was a bounce-back game for Blanca. Like I said, Notre Dame wasn't great. Particularly, I wasn't pleased with that, and just the other games, she just made some mistakes in terms of turning over the ball and some other stuff that I already kind of talked about. But she did what she needed to do, taking shots when she needed to, making some nice shots, and being able to be impactful defensively. So, yeah, still don't know why she's not starting for this team, and I don't know why Gino does that, but it's beside the point. I don't know why Janet didn't play more time. She only played 9 minutes. I thought she should have played more. And all the stats that I talk about are going to be on the screen for the visual viewers, like I kind of already said, even if I don't talk about them in detail, so you guys can kind of see it. But yeah, Janet should have played more minutes. Like I always say, K9, 21 minutes played, 8 points, 3 of 4 shooting. She had no threes, 2 of 2 free throws. You got 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and no turnover, 2 steals, and no blocks. So K9's starting to get that confidence again, okay? And I like the way she's able to facilitate. The defense could use some work, but she's trying. But I really like what K9's been doing. Anastasia had 11 points. I forget how much of this was in garbage time. I explained that I don't take garbage time seriously because people who did not contribute when the game was being decided, like the first 3 quarters, they come in the 4th quarter and then they stat pad. And then people look at the stats afterwards and try to act like people were bigger contributors to the game being decided than actually they were. So that's my whole spiel with garbage time, okay? I think the lineups with her don't work. I'll put up the stat line for Seton Hall. And then we go on to some advanced stats. So scoring by quarter, 25-17 in the first, 25-11 in the second, 23-13 in the third, and 19-11 in the fourth. Overall, UConn wins this game 92-52. Okay, leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Sarah's leading the way in all categories for us with 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And then you can see everybody for Seton Hall. From the field, 35 of 60 for UConn and 58% from the field, and then 11 of 29 from 3, which is pretty on target. 38%, 11 of 12 from the free throw line, 92%. Yeah, 32 rebounds, 6 offensive, 26 defensive, 25 assists, 16 steals, 5 blocks, 16 total turnovers. Don't love that number, okay? And then you had 37 points off turnovers, 20 fast break or transition points, and then 46 points in the paint, 21 fouls, no techs, largest was 40%, lit was 87%. Seton Hall, 17 of 55 from the field, good God, 31%, 5 of 25 from 3. Why did they take so many? And then that's going to be 20%, 13 of 16 from the free throw line, 81%, 31 total rebounds, you had 12 offensive rebounds and 19 defensive rebounds, 10 assists, you had 8 steal, no block, 27 total turnover, good God, 12 points off turnover, no fast break points, 16 points in the paint, 14 fouls, no techs, largest lead was 6, and percent led was 11, okay? Kind of shared some of my overall thoughts, but I was not pleased by this game. Like I said, AZ was hot in the beginning of the game, and she didn't get her touches, and I think that the offense just has a lot to be desired with the facilitation and sharing of the basketball, okay? Multiple times in this game where our offense got stagnant, and in the beginning of this game, we were trailing, we couldn't score. Seton Hall was getting some stops defensively on us, and then they were able to score as well, and our defense left a lot to be desired in that first quarter. You know, it was just very rusty, and Gino was yelling at him as, you know, he should. And then the rest of the game, we pretty much got it together, did what we were supposed to do and everything. Like I said, improving how we play against the zone, because some bad things that I didn't like. Let's have less turnovers. I would like to see more rebounding of the basketball. We barely out-rebounded them. I don't like Gino's lineups with Ali Isabel. I personally feel like they don't work. Would have liked to see Jana more minutes in this game. K9 more minutes. I feel like she's been outplaying KK as of late. And so, yeah, just the same critiques that I've always have of UConn. And I mentioned this on my TikTok review. My TikTok, Anastasia250_. I'll throw it on the screen if y'all want to follow me on there, because I do like to do reviews of these games in real time, okay? So if you want to know my thoughts on the game like 30 minutes after it happened, you guys can check my TikTok profile and everything for those. But yeah, I was talking about like Homer Simpson's dad when he walked in, put his hat down, and then he walked out. That's how I feel complaining about these UConn games. It's the same issues, okay? And it just irritates me. It just irritates me because, like, why are we still dealing with the same things that we were dealing with in November, okay? And I get, you know, you don't want to peak at the wrong time and everything, and we still have more time, but it just gets to a rate where it's like these things should have been fixed. And like I said before, you're not allowed to criticize Gino. Like I said, Gino will be a terrorist sometimes. I'm sorry. He be making bad decisions and stuff with his lineups and certain other things that he does, and I feel like I should be allowed to say it. I don't just focus on the score. It's how you play and how you got to that score, okay? If you actually watch this game in real time, multiple mistakes that we should not, you know, be making, and just multiple things where you're like, why are we still at this rate with how the offense looks, you know? So not being pleased with those things overall. But still some room for improvement for UConn. Now 21-0, which is good. But I just have some things objectively that I would like to see changed. Okay? So, yeah. Still haven't changed the starting lineup at this rate. And we worse off for it. But that's my takeaways on UConn. Okay? Now let's talk about LSU and Oklahoma. Okay? I previewed this game. I told y'all that I thought LSU was going to win. And they did end up getting the dub. Okay? Final score was 91-72. I'll read the advanced stats for this one as well. So, Grace Knox, 20 minutes played, 13 points, 4 of 8 shooting, no threes, 5 of 6 free throws, 3 rebounds, no assists, 3 turnovers, no steals, and 1 block. So, I mean, she had a good game, you know, played her part, and did what she needed to do. Amia Joyner, 6 minutes played. You had no points, 0-1 from the field. No threes, no free throws, 4 rebound, no assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block. So, I mean, really non-factor for the most part, at least the box score. We're going to Jada Richard. So, she played 37 minutes, 21 points, 8 of 16 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, 4 of 4 free throws. She got 5 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steal, and no blocks. She played well. She was hitting that midi in this game and just doing what she needed to do, and effectively at that, and good at leading this offense as well. So, you know, I liked her performance in this game. Continue on to Michaela Williams, 32 minutes in this game. Okay, she had 10 points, 1 of 8 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, 8 of 8 free throws. She had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnover, no steal, and no luck. So yeah, just a tough shooting day. Found other ways to be impactful, but yeah, just not great shooting the basketball. Flau'jae Johnson, 34 minutes played, 23 points, 9 of 19 shooting, and she had 3 of 5 from the three-point line at 2 of 2 free throws, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnover, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. I wish Flau'jae would play like this all the time. The amount of confidence that she played with in this game, you saw her hitting some threes, you saw her getting crafty. I think she had some middies in this game, being able to finish at the rim, being able to have impact defensively. And it's games like this that show why I tend to like Flau'jae as a player and why I think that she's a lottery pick. But she doesn't play like this all the time, and it's the consistency that I'm needing from Flau'jae. So yeah, but you know, she did a big one in this game. She did a big one in this game. So I was glad to at least see that. Bench, there's not really much to talk about. Kate Koval, 9 points, you know, at least. So one of the better games that I've seen her play, but y'all know I'm not high on Kate Koval. Zakai Johnson, only 3 points. Would have expected more, no shade. Malaysia did not play well. 12 points, 3 of 10 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, 6-7 free throws. We got the 6-7. She had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and no turnover, 3 steals, and 1 block. So at least finding other ways to be impactful, just did not shoot the basketball well. And just, she has to be better with her shot diet. I fear. Going to Oklahoma with City Norman, okay? So she played 32 minutes, 11 points, 3 of 14 shooting, which is tough. And she had 3 of 9 from the 3, 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnover, no steal, and 1 block. It's just not her best shooting performance, and just taking some shots that she shouldn't have taken for sure, because she wants to make something happen so bad and everything, and she's just always going to give her all in the games. That's who she is. And they're going to play her hard. You know, they're going to double team her, force some turnovers, make her have to give up the ball, and make her have to take tough shots. That's what's going to happen when you're the best player on the team. So, you know, still some room to learn and everything, but again, you know she's always going to give her all. So I can appreciate that. Reagan Beers, 27 minutes played, 10 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, 0-2 free throws. How you miss both? 11 rebound, a double-double, okay, 1 assist, no turnover, no steal, but she did have 2 blocks though, okay? So Reagan Beers, this was a good game. You know, she's going to give you some good stuff on defense as well. Didn't she get in foul trouble in this one? Every game she gets in foul trouble, so I'd be forgetting. But yeah, for the most part, good game. I mean, Sierra Williams, 28 minutes played, 12 points, 4 of 12 shooting, 2 of 5 from the 3, 2 of 4 free throws. You had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. So not a great shooting night for her. Able to find other ways to have impact, but 4-12 is just rough. And everyone from Oklahoma kind of had a rough shooting night, you know, for this game. Zaya Van, okay, 34 minutes played, 7 points, 2 of 12 shooting, 1 of 4 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws. He had 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, and 1 steal and 1 block, okay? And 2 of 12, again, like, not much to say, not much to say. Payne Verhulst, 34 minutes, and she had 21 points, 7 of 17 shooting, 5 of 11 from the 3. 2 of 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and no blocks. She be taking some dumb shots, I'm not even gonna lie. From the bench, only player of note is Brooklyn Stewart. She gave you 9 points, 4 of 4 shooting, and she hit a 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, no steal, no block. But yeah, that's kind of how the shooting splits worked out for this game. Advanced stats, the box score. So in the first quarter, the first score that I'm going to say is going to be for LSU, and then Oklahoma, and then so on. So it was 24-16, 21-19, 25-17, and then 21-20. Ultimately, LSU won this game at 91-72. Okay, leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Flau'jae leading the way for LSU with 23 points. She also led in rebounds, 10 rebounds, and Michaela Williams had 5 assists leading. For OU, Payne Verhulst had 21 points leading. Reagan Beers 11 rebounds, and Zaya Van had 7 assists to 3 turnovers. Advanced stats. So LSU 29-68 from the field, 43%, 4 of 9 from the three-point line, 44%, 29-33 from the free throw line. They got a lot more free throws, okay? 88%, okay? 48 rebounds, they out-rebounded, 12 offensive, 36 defensive, 15 assists, 9 steal, 5 block, 15 total turnovers. Stop turning over the ball. 21 points off turnovers, 8 fast breaker transition points, 34 points in the paint, 15 fouls, no text, largely was 24, and percent led was 78. Okay, so for OU, 26 of 71 from the field, 37%, 12 of 34 from the 3, which taking so many is crazy. 35%, 8 of 12 from the free throw line, 6-7, we got the 6-7 again. 38 total rebounds, 11 offensive, 27 47 defensive, 24 assists, 6 steals, 5 blocks, 18 total turnovers in this game, 26 points off turnovers, so they did a better job in that category. 12 fast break points. You had 26 points in the paint, 23 fouls, no techs, largest lead was 9, and percent led was 17. Okay, so overall takeaways on this game, OU just struggled shooting the basketball. Okay, I think part of it was LSU's defense making them have to take difficult shots, passing the basketball and everything, and take more threes and all that stuff. So yeah, but in general, whenever they could get free and have some open looks, they struggled shooting. I thought that they picked some bad shots as well. And OU likes to play zone a lot, which I've mentioned, but they can adjust for the most part when their zone get fried. And their zone got fried multiple times. So having to be better at that in your man defense, like I said, City and Norman going to be double teams and all the other stuff. And so, yeah, LSU just outplayed on both ends, less turnovers, they out-rebounded, and, yeah, what was it? The back half of that third quarter, there was a point this game was within 10, but it's just OU really had nothing to give. They really tried, and LSU outplayed. Okay, I forget some of the details of this game, so if y'all want, you can check out my review. If y'all watch this on YouTube, my full review's out there, but that was what I remember in my brain about this game, okay? And I do want to say that them dissing City of Norman is not it, okay? Apparently her dad was tweeting from her account and saying stuff, but why not diss him? I don't understand why they putting her in it, bro. After this game, they were talking about her on TikTok live. Flage did the City of Norman thing multiple times, okay? And was like trolling in that way. I think she posted something on TikTok and everything else. And so I don't know. I just feel like City of Norman, like the load that she has to carry as a freshman is huge. Averaging 18 points a game. I think like 4 assists, 4 rebounds, something like that. And I will talk about that South Carolina game as well. But the point is she carries a big load. And she works really hard, and she's a freshman, and she's raw. So I just don't agree with putting City of Norman in it whenever you had a problem with what her dad said. And I still don't even know what her dad said. So if y'all want to let me know down below in the comments or whatever what her dad said, y'all can let me know those things. But I don't know. I just thought it was corny. I thought it was immature. I thought that LSU could use some humility and everything. Because when Flage had 0 points, I'm sure a lot of people, were putting you down and everything. So, like, why would you, I guess, want to do that to somebody else? And some people say, like, oh, it's in good fun and everything. But I don't know. It was distasteful to me. It was distasteful to me. So I didn't like it. I didn't like it. City of Norman didn't deserve all that. As far as I know, she didn't say anything. But it would be one thing if City of Norman dissed them, right, and said something, and then they kind of got their revenge and got their get back, okay? And I saw this, but Madison Booker, whenever they played South Carolina last year, I believe, she literally told somebody on a team, she's like, you can't effing guard me or whatever, right? And so then they got their revenge in the SEC championship, and then they mentioned that. That's fair. And I'm not against trash talk per se and everything, but I don't know. I just thought it was odd. Like, Flage, you don't like people kicking you whenever you're down and everything. After you had 0 points and then you came back against Georgia, you were talking about all the haters this, and then when it got to Texas, she was what, 3 of 13 or 4 of 14 from the field. And I said she was talking too much before Texas. So you just have to show up in those moments. I thought it was distasteful to put City of Norman into it. I don't know. I really respect what City of Norman's doing for OU and everything. And there was talks that City of Norman didn't belong in the SEC. How do you not belong in the SEC just because of a bad stretch of games your first year, even though you're averaging 18 points a game? I didn't like that. I didn't like that, okay? Before I go on, I forgot to share that I do have my Me Bounds hoodie on right now. Had to support, wanted to wear it for this one. I always try to do something basketball related. But we continue on to Oklahoma and South Carolina, another full breakdown. I have a lot of games that I wanted to break down this week and read all the stats and just try to find a way to satisfy the people who are listening to this and who are watching this, because sometimes I throw the stats blankly up, and if you're not watching it, you can't see it. But we move on to Oklahoma and South Carolina. So City of Norman did exactly what had to be done. So she played 39 minutes, had 26 points, 9 of 19 shooting, 5 of 10 from the 3, 3 of 4 free throws, 4 rebound, 8 assists, 4 turnover, no steal, and no block. In the beginning of this game, it was a tough outing for City of Norman, okay? Again, kind of taking some shots that she shouldn't necessarily take, but she was trying to make something happen, okay? Got to the overtime period, and she put on a show. Okay, and I got the stats pulled up because she literally had 15 in overtime, okay? I don't even think Oklahoma missed a shot in overtime, but a huge reason why the team won, okay? And I've been telling y'all City of Norman good, okay? People wanted to get their licks in on City of Norman whenever she wasn't having the best game, but when I saw what she did against NC State, she had, what, 33, 34 points, and just seeing her play in general, like, I told y'all she's a fun player, and she got handles, and she can score at all 3 levels as well. The defense is something that she's working on. She did have 2 charges in this game, and I wish that that was a stat that was tracked on these, because I always forget to mention that, but that definitely is a great defensive play. So she had 2 charges that she drew in this game as well. But yeah, like, if you've seen City of Norman play and like have a good game, like, this is not a surprise at all to you. Like, you know that this is what she's capable of, and just putting the team on her back in overtime and doing what she does. It was a lot of fun to watch. And I actually did see that the end of the fourth quarter into overtime in real time, and then I went back and watched the game in its entirety and everything. But overall, I just thought that, you know, she played extremely well whenever it mattered the most, okay? Somebody who's not afraid of the moment, somebody who gives 100% every single time she steps out on the floor. Like, I can't name a game that I've seen of hers where she hasn't given her all. So you gotta respect it. Knew she was capable of this, and, you know, balling up for 15 points in overtime, okay? You also had 8 assists in this game, and just being able to get her teammates involved as well. Like I said, had some good defensive plays too. So, you know, showing up when it mattered most, having some grit. So I really respected that. And then this is a stat I was talking about earlier, but she's on the list with freshmen with 18 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the last 10 seasons. So it's CC, Paige, I Have Friends Who Homosexual, and City of Norman, okay? So that's something worth adding. I also forgot she had a block in this game that was not credited. I believe it was on Tanaya Lasson, but she ate that too, so that was another good defensive play. And watching this game, somebody posted this on Twitter, but it's this clip. She said, "I'm in your town and you're not lacing it up." She said, "You don't want that smoke." She said, "You know exactly who I'm talking about." No, she ate that bad. She plays with a lot of confidence, really fun to watch, conductor behind this OU offense. I don't know what's not to like about City of Norman, but I've been on the right side of history since this season started, okay? And that's on tape, Okay, so yeah, spent a lot of time talking about City of Norman like I did in my TikTok review, but it warranted that. That was a generational moment, okay? Reagan Beers, 29 minutes. She had 18 points, 8 and 9 shooting, no threes, 2 4 free throws. You had 14 rebound, okay, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. Don't love that, but she did have no steals and 1 block. Overall, I thought she played extremely well, especially with her defense in the post. Whenever you're looking at players like Okad and also Joyce Edwards, and just stopping them from scoring, making them have to give up the ball, and making them have to take tough shots. And defense in the post is extremely important. It's extremely important to have post players who do not get bullied offensively, so they can get their shots off and have great positioning and have some tough and ones, being able to finish through contact, and then defensively as well, okay? And so I thought that, you know, she did a lot of good stuff on both sides of the ball, able to score 18 points. That one, what is it called? I believe it was a bucket she had in the fourth quarter to tie the game. That was huge as well. So I really think she did what she needed to do, only missed 1 shot. She was efficient. And yeah, I believe she got in foul trouble in this game. She always gets in foul trouble. And so in college, you only have 5 fouls. So she had her 4th foul. And Jenny Baranchek, the OU coach, decided to put her in, which was a really gutsy move. I think 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Really, you know, was something that ended up being beneficial. It was a gutsy move, but I think that Reagan Bears did a lot of good stuff in this game, so definitely got to give her credit. Sahara Williams, she played 37 minutes, 12 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, no free throws, 10 rebound, 5 assists, 6 turnovers. I cannot praise that, okay? 2 steals and no blocks. So able to do some good stuff with the points and the rebounds, and, you know, find ways to be effective in this game. But 6 turnovers, you cannot cover the basketball that many times. I'm sure, you know, defense, you know, plays a part in that, but part of that got to be in you when you have 6 turnovers. I don't like the turnovers. And now on Zayavan, she played 39 minutes, had 11 points, 4-14 shooting, good God. 3 of 7 from 3, no free throws, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers, 1 steal, and no blocks, okay? And so overall, she just did not have a good night shooting the basketball. I think it was her and City Norman that did have that defensive stop and that tie-up at the end, which ultimately did send it into overtime. So that was huge, but just did not shoot the basketball well, straight up, okay? And I told y'all, I think, before, but she definitely does remind me of Kelsey Mitchell, just certain ways that she plays and everything, and even one of the announcers was saying it. So that's on tape too, but yeah, in general, I like her. Just wasn't her best night shooting. Peyton Verhulst had a pretty good game. So 35 minutes played. She had 19 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 1 of 4 from the 3, 2 free throws, 4 rebound. You had 4 assists, 3 turnover, no steal, and 2 blocks, okay? And her and City Norman, the only ones who were scoring in overtime. Didn't she have that one behind the back in this game? That behind the back was insane. But she was definitely doing some good stuff in this game too, for sure, okay? Sometimes she'd be taking dumb shots, but, you know, she had a good shooting night, which after she went 1 of 14 that one game, you know, you got it. You got to make up for that. Off the bench, Brooklyn Start's really the only one who contributed. She did have 6 points, 3 of 7 shooting, no threes, 1 assist, 1 turnover, no steal, no blocks. So she did some good stuff. So that's everybody for Oklahoma. For South Carolina, so starting off with Joyce Edwards, so she played 40 minutes, had 12 points, 3 of 12 shooting, no threes, 6 of 6 free throw. You had 5 rebound, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. You had 4 steals and 1 block though. My overall takeaway on Joyce Edwards is that the big matchups this year, she has struggled, okay? You're looking against that Texas game that they played in this season as well, and I'm trying to think, but there was definitely another big matchup in this year where she just has not played well, and it's probably another Texas game, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, okay, like, they're going to put the defensive pressure on her, obviously, because she's the best player. So, like, you already know that it's coming, and that's just something that she's going to have to adjust to and learn. And she was taking a lot of bad shots, and she definitely should have passed out the ball more, and just times where she wasn't able to finish simple stuff and just taking some bad shots in this game. Defensively, at least able to have a showing, but you got to show up in the big games. You got to show up in the big games as the best player on the team. That's just what's going to come with that and everything, and it just was not Joyce's finest hour. If we're going to keep it a buck, okay? We'll look at Medina Okot, 17 minutes played at 6 points, 3 of 9 shooting, no threes, no free throws, 4 rebound, no assists, 3 turnover, 2 steals, and 1 block. And so, yeah, she is another one of the main contributors for South Carolina. Did not have a great night shooting. Again, part of that's the defense. Reagan bears of all of it, but not her finest hour either. Then we go on to Demon Tessa Johnson. Y'all know I'm a Tessa Johnson. Enjoy her. Okay, so she played 32 minutes, had 19 points, 6 of 14 shooting, 3 of 8 from the 3, 4 free throws, 4 rebound, 2 assists, no turnover, no steal, and no block. Overall, I thought that Dawn should have played through Tessa more and got her some more opportunities whenever you saw that Joyce wasn't shooting the ball well. Okot and Latson, which I will talk about her, of course. And so, yeah, because she's underrated. She's a three-point threat. She can score on all 3 levels as well. Tessa defense is terrible, and she has to work on that because in overtime, City of Norman got her multiple times, okay? The sidestep 3, the repositioning, she got her many times on the 3. She got cooked in overtime. If you'll actually watch that, pretty much everything City Norman had was on Tessa head, and she got to work on that defense. And I told y'all she got cooked in that Texas game, the one that they lost, and just in general. So that's a room for improvement for sure. But I do like Tessa as a player. I feel like when people talk about South Carolina, they don't talk about Tessa enough for some reason. But she's one of the best players, and so I think Dawn should have played through her more in this game because she was hitting some good shots in this game for sure, and she kind of wasn't accounted for, I believe, in Oklahoma's game plan. You look at Tanaya Latson, so 32 minutes played, 6 points, 1 of 10 shooting. It's terrible. 0-2 from the 3, 4-7 free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and no blocks. So she just did not play well. She just did not play well when you're 1 of 10 from the floor. I just don't know why Dawn played her so many minutes. Okay, let's use the bench. Let's use the bench a little bit more. You know, that's kind of how I feel. And I don't know if y'all saw that one clip on Twitter that's making the rounds, but wasn't it her and just everyone, like, there was a moment where they just kept trying to get the ball to go through the hoop, and it wasn't. They got offensive rebounds. It was just an ugly scene. So just did not shoot the ball well. Had, you know, some good moments on defense and found a way to be impactful. But, I mean, 1 of 10, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not good objectively. Raven Johnson, 40 minutes played, 16 points, 8 of 14 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, no free throws, 5 rebound, 5 assists, and 2 turnovers in this game of 4 steals and no blocks. Raven had a good game. She shot the ball well, okay? One of the better games I've seen Raven play, okay? And, you know, she's going to have some good defensive plays. The bench, there's only really 2 players I want to talk about. Turnabees, I believe is how you pronounce her name, Alicia. 14 minutes played, 9 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 1 of 1 from the 3. No free throws, 3 rebound, no assists, 1 turnover, no steal, no block. I believe she had some good stuff in this game. Okay, shooting the ball. She caught some dumb fouls in this game. I believe she's from France, so like you have to get adjusted to the rules here. I remember watching Satu's interview with Stu Bird, and she said whenever she first came over here, she traveled a lot. Okay, and so having to work on that, I think she had some offensive fouls and some illegal screens, so things that she has to learn. But I thought she had some really nice stuff in this game for sure. And then McKeer, 20 minutes played, 8 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 0-4 from the 3, 2 of 4 free throws, 3 rebound, no assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. So able to make something shake. 3 of 8 is not great, but I mean, hey. So that's kind of everyone I wanted to talk about for South Carolina at this rate, okay? And then we move on, okay? So you look at the box score and scoring by quarter. So first quarter, and then South Carolina, and then Oklahoma. That's how I'm going to read it in order. But it was 20-17 in the first, 23-19 in the second, 16-25 in the third, 16-14 in the fourth, and then in overtime, it was 7-19. Okay, got a score by 12 in overtime. Had nothing to give. And so Oklahoma wins this game 94-82. And this is only like the 3rd time they beat a top 2 opponent. And their record is terrible. I forget what it is, but child, they do not be winning. So this is a huge win. Okay, Jenny Baranchek said we fucking back. So she was hyped. She was hyped. They got that on camera. And then the game leaders. So for Oklahoma, City Norman leading the way with 26 points. Okay, thank you. Reagan Beers, 14 rebound, and then City Norman, 8 assists to 4 turnover. Tessa leading the way for South Carolina with 19 points. Adele Tack with 6 rebound, and Raven Johnson with 5 assists to 2 turnovers. Okay, advanced stats for this game. So OU from the field, 39 of 81, 48%. Okay, 9 of 23 from the 3-point line. Okay, so that comes in, and then it's going to be 39%. 7 of 10 from the free throw line, 70%. And then 54 total rebounds, 19 offensive, 35 defensive, 23 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks, 21 total turnovers. Okay, you had 12 points off turnovers, 15 fast break or transition points, which is more than they've had lately. 50 points in the paint. You had 20 fouls. No text, largely was 14. And then percent level was 49%. South Carolina, 30 of 81 from the field, 37%. So just shot poorly. 5 of 21 from the 3, 24%. 17 of 23 from the free throw line, 74%. 39 total rebounds. So they got out rebounded by what? 16? Damn. 18 offensive rebounds, 21 defensive rebounds. You had 12 assists, 13 steals, 4 blocks, 13 total turnovers in this game, 28 points off turnovers, 10 fast breaker transition points. You had 40 points in the paint. Okay, 19 fouls, no text, largest lead was 8, and percent led was going to be 42%. Now into my overall thoughts on this game. This was an uglier game than you would think by the score, okay? So that's something there. Part of it was defense, part of them was both of them not shooting the ball well when they had the opportunity for open looks, okay? And it was something that was close throughout. Okay, there was a point where Oklahoma had a lead. South Carolina kind of got it. They had a little lead, but Oklahoma did just enough, to send it to overtime. And like I said, South Carolina's big contributors like Joyce Edwards, Medina Okad, and Sanaya Latson did not play well in this game. Part of that's defense. Part of them is them not shooting the ball well when they had those opportunities. I feel like Dawn didn't make any real adjustments. She just sat out people because they were in foul trouble. Tessa got some dumb fouls in the beginning of this game, and so she sat her when she needed to, but she didn't make any real adjustments. I feel like she should have played through Tessa more. As I said, OU out rebounded. I think that they played a better defense. Like I said, Reagan Beers, but their team defense I thought was better than has been. More points in transition. They wanted it more in overtime. Okay, South Carolina really had nothing to give. Oklahoma, they really saw it as a new opportunity. That's what the coach was saying and everything. And so that momentum that kind of led it to that point. They just went and did what they had to do. And so, like I said, City Norman put on a show in overtime, told y'all she was a demon, and did exactly what needed to be done. And yeah, like it was just a fun game. It was just a fun game. So you just got to respect what City of Norman is putting out and everything. Now we move on. Another game I'm going to break down. Like I said, there's a lot that I wanted to talk about. When I was writing my notes, I thought that I was not going to have enough to talk about this week. I thought it was going to be a shorter episode, and boy, was I wrong, because writing out these notes could have got carpal tunnel. But we move on to some MLK Day hoops, the Coretta Scott King Classic. Vanderbilt versus Michigan, okay? So let's talk about Vanderbilt first. Michaela Blake's 33 minutes played, 14 points, 5 of 14 shooting, 0-4 for the 3. 4 or 5 free throws, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. Okay, she had 1 steal and no blocks. She had some nice shots in this game, okay, able to get to the free throw line and capitalize off of that, okay, and had a moment or two in the fourth quarter, but they made sure that she was going to suffer. They made sure that they were going to make those shots that she got out difficult. If you know a little bit about Michaela Blakes and Vanderbilt, she is our leading scorer. She's a volume shooter, okay, and just taking a lot of shots, and whatever go in, whatever don't, and so you're not going to see a whole lot of efficiency because she takes a whole lot of shots, okay, and so it's getting the ball to go through the hoop. So knowing that, Michigan did everything that they could to take her away, for the most part, I thought that they were successful in doing so. And even when they did that, I thought that she made some big plays in this game to get her other teammates involved, okay? And she had some good stuff defensively as well, okay? Willing to put her body on the line. Like I said, Michaela Blakes is somebody who is not afraid of the moment, gonna do what she can to win, and she has some toughness to her, so I can respect that and some grit. So that's some of my takeaways. She takes dumb shots too. Sasha Washington, 23 minutes played, 9 points, 3 of 5 shooting, no threes, 3 of 3 free throws, 6 rebound, 4 assists, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no blocks. So had her contribution for this game for sure. I should have talked about Gavin second because she was awesome, but 40 minutes played, 20 points, 7 of 14 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3, 3 of 4 free throws, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 3 turnover, 2 steals, and no blocks. Huge difference maker. Hitting some threes, getting crafty. She can score at all 3 levels, okay? And she made some defensive plays here whenever you have 2 steals, okay? And so, like I said, you take Michaela Blakes out of the game, Galvin stepped up, okay? There was one that she hit. What was it? I think the shot clock was expiring and everything, had to heave. I don't know how that went in. But she was insane, and she was efficient at that. They needed her to step up and make some plays, and she did. And she's the facilitator of this offense because Michaela Blakes is a shooting guard. So, wanted to give some praise to Aubrey Galvin because I thought she was awesome. We go on to number 15. I do not know how to pronounce her name. 24 minutes played, 5 points, 2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3, no free throws, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnover, 2 steals, and 1 block. We'd like to see more for the time. And then Justine Passot, I believe, or Passat, 34 minutes played, 14 points, 5 of 14 shooting, okay? And she was 4 of 10 from 3, no free throws, 8 rebound, 5 assists, 3 turnover, no steal, and 2 blocks. She irritated me, okay? She hit some threes in the beginning of this game, if I'm remembering correctly, and then brick after brick after brick after brick. And then didn't she have some fouls, or she was making some other mistakes, and so she was really frustrating to watch. And I think Shea Ralph should have played her less time, okay? I was incredibly frustrated, because it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, okay? And so the bench, Mitchell giving you 7 points, okay, and Jada Brown giving you 3 points. So that's everyone for Vanderbilt. Now we on to Michigan, okay, starting off with Silas Swords, number 12. So she gave you 39 minutes played, 16 points, 6 of 13 shooting, 4 of 9 from the three-point line. She had no free throws in this game, 3 rebound, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block, okay? Hit some great shots in this game, okay? I feel like she should have got more shots because her teammates were bricking and just finding a way to be impactful straight up. And so I thought Silas Swords played well in this game for sure and made her impact felt. So got to give her credit because she's one of the reasons why they're able to come back in this game. They didn't win, but, they made it close. Sofa Kanik, 17 minutes played, 4 points, 2 of 9 from the field, dreadful. No threes, no free throw, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnover, no steal, and no blocks. So not great. And then Holloway, 23 minutes played, 5 points, 2 of 7 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, no free throw. You had 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 turnovers, no. You had 1 steal and no blocks, okay? And then Olsen, 35 minutes played, 14 points, 5 of 15 from the field. Good God. 0-5 from the 3, 4 for free throws, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and no block. So not great. And then Brooke Quarles-Daniels, she had an impact on this game for sure, even though the stat line wouldn't suggest it as much. But 33 minutes played, 7 points, 3 of 6 shooting. No threes, 1 of 2 free throws, 10 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 4 steals, and no blocks, okay? Huge stuff defensively. There was this one where Michaela Blake, she was going to go and drive to the basket, and then she got the steal, and I believe she ended up scoring on the other end, facilitating a scoring opportunity for a teammate. So, huge defensively in this game, I thought. Off the bench, Kendall Dudley gave you 16 points, okay? So she was making a contribution. Everyone else, not really worth talking about to me. But yeah, Vanderbilt escapes this game in a close one, 72-69, okay? Scoring by quarter, I'll talk about Michigan and then Vanderbilt. So 17-21 in the first, 13-26 in the second, 23-14 in the third, and 16-11 in the fourth. And like I said, Vanderbilt wins 72-69. The game leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Aubrey Galvin leaving with points, okay, 20 points. Passat with rebounds, 8. And then Passat also leading in assists, 5 assists to 3 turnovers. Michigan, Dudley with 16 points. Quarles-Daniels with rebounds with 10 and assists. We got Dudley again, 4 assists to 2 turnovers, okay. Advanced stats. So you are seeing Vanderbilt from the field, 25 of 59, 42%. 9 of 24 from 3, 38%. 13-16 from the free throw line, 81%. 33 total rebounds, 12 offensive, 21 defensive. You had 20 assists, 10 steals, 3 blocks, 17 total turnovers in this game. And they're actually tied for the turnovers. And so 22 points off turnovers, 7 fast breaker transition points. 26 points in the paint, 17 fouls, no text, largest lead was 19, and percent led was 88. Okay, for Michigan, they were 28 of 68 from the field, 41%, 6 of 20 from the three-point line, which is going to be 30%, okay? 7 of 8 free throws, you had 88% from the free throw line, 41 rebounds, 18 offensive, 23 defensive, okay? 18 assists, 8 steals, 3 blocks, 17 total turnovers again, which God. And then you had 12 points off turnovers, 8 fast breaker transition points, 38 points in the paint, 18 fouls, no text, largely was 5, and percent led was 7. Okay. My overall takeaways on this basketball game for y'all. So I thought that this was a great game, a great day for, a game in MLK, and they did what they needed to do in the Coretta Scott King Classic. So, this was a really close one too. Okay. In the first half of this game, Vanderbilt was playing fantastic. They got any shot that they wanted. They were hitting threes at a high clip, okay? And I really liked what they were doing offensively with the ball movement and stuff, setting a lot of great stuff up for each other. They did a great job locking up Michigan when you're looking at full court press, turning them over, being able to capitalize off of that and, doing a lot of different coverages and stuff defensively, okay? So I really like that. But in the second half, however, we turned the page because Michigan, they were really doing some good stuff, okay? They really ramped up the defense, making Vanderbilt have to take difficult shots, and Vanderbilt multiple lows without scoring in this game. And I really feel like if Michigan played how they played in the first half and the second half, they would have won. Vanderbilt almost blew a 20-point lead, Okay, Michigan also got them in foul trouble. Michaela Blake's had, what, 4 fouls, I believe, so she had to sit as well, and so you can't really play the same way because you don't want to foul out of the game. And, you know, Vanderbilt just made enough shots in the fourth quarter to ultimately win like 2 or 3, but it easily could have went the other way because that momentum was crazy. But the blueprint to stop Vanderbilt has been out. Okay, we'll see how long they're going to go undefeated at this rate. It's going to be interesting how they play against South Carolina. I could see that game going either way. South Carolina definitely needs some revenge after that loss to Oklahoma. But on the other standpoint, like I said, Joyce Edwards in the big matchups this year has not been great. Okay, South Carolina is a gritty team. They'll win ugly. They don't care. They will make sure to do everything that they can to get a win. And Dawn was irritated, you know, talking about that. So, you know, both sides, you could see it going either way. At the time I'm recording this and when you see it, the game is going to be today. So I'll definitely give you guys a review of that. Hopefully it does not get postponed. But I'm very much looking forward to that one. But yeah, you just got to take Michaela Blaze out of the game. Make everybody beat you, okay? I think that they're limited. You know, I think Vanderbilt's going to need to get a couple pieces over the next few years. They've shown promise. I think Shea Ralph can coach for sure. Michaela Blaze is doing some good stuff for you as well. I would not be surprised if we see Michaela Blaze walking away with the SEC Player of the Year with what she's been able to do, okay? I told you I don't like shot chuckers, but hey, it is what it is. She's getting the points. You can't argue with the production at this rate. But I really, really, really enjoyed this game, like I kind of already said. So that's my takeaways on that game. Next game I want to talk about is TCU versus Ohio State. I'm just going to read key stats for some players. Olivia Miles had 24 points, but she was 6 of 16 from the field. Okay, 1 of 7 from 3, 11 of 12 free throws, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 turnovers, 2 steals, and 1 block. She takes some dumb shots sometimes. Driving and assuming that she's going to be able to go through the free throw line and cash in on that, and you're not necessarily able to all the time. Her defense is still not good, and just you understand what you're going to get with Olivia Miles. She's just not my favorite player to watch personally, okay? Marta Suarez has really been having a rough stretch. I looked at her stats. The last time she had an efficient game, I believe, was in December, okay? And so 23 minutes played. She only had 2 points, though. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 4 from the 3, no free throws, 7 rebound, 1 assist, 9 turnovers. You cannot have that, okay? 2 steals and no blocks. And I'll have the stats for everyone else so you guys can kind of see that in real time if you're watching this, but yeah. And then for Buckeyes, the players that I want to highlight, okay, I'm going to highlight 3 players. Lemuel, I thought, played well, 38 minutes, 17 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, 5 of 6 free throws. He had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and 6 blocks, okay? Finding a way to make her presence felt, being able to score in transition, being able to get some steals, and she was just really effective. So I like her game. I'm pretty sure she was the one who hit that reverse layup on Lauren Best. So yeah, she's definitely doing what she needs to do on both sides. Jelani Cambridge is their best player for Ohio State. Did not have a great day shooting the basketball. 40 minutes played, 18 points, 7 of 22 shooting, 1 of 3 from the 3, 3 of 4 free throws. She had 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Okay, no turnover, and then 2 steals and no blocks. So yeah, making her have to take difficult shots. She had times where she was wide open, she couldn't score. There was one layup that she just flat out missed in the game. Okay, still having assists and finding ways to be impactful. It just wasn't her night to shoot it. Okay, so that's credit to the defense and making her have to take shots that she didn't want to take. Okay. Chance Gray was huge, 34 minutes played. He had 22 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 6 of 8 from the 3. No free throws, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnover, no steal, and no block, okay? Reading the stats from the field, okay, TCU 25 of 62 from the field, 40%, 8 of 25 from 3, 32%, 11 of 12 free throws, 92%, 43 total rebounds. They out-rebounded, but they still lost. 15 offensive, 28 defensive, 16 assists, 5 steal, 4 block, 20 total turnovers. You cannot turn the basketball over 20 times and expect to win. You had 10 points off turnovers, 2 fast break points. I mean, good God. 28 points in the paint. 14 fouls, no techs. Largest lead was 10, and percent led was 72. And then for Ohio State, 25 of 64 from the field, 39%, 9 of 21 from the 3, 43%, 12 of 15 from the free throw line, 80%. And then they had 33 total rebounds, okay, 11 offensive, 22 defensive, 18 assists, 9 steals, 7 block, 10 total turnovers in this game. You had 18 points off turnovers, 10 fast breaker transition points, 26 points in the paint. 11 fouls, no techs, largest lead was 5, and percent led was 21. Okay, scoring by quarter, so TCU and then Ohio is how I'm going to read it. 18 to 8, 18 to 25. Okay, second quarter is really what did them in. And then the third quarter, 13 to 14, and then the fourth quarter, 20 to 24. Ultimately, Ohio State wins this one, 71-69. Okay, leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Olivia Miles with 24 points, Olivia Miles with 11 rebounds, and Olivia Miles with 7 assists to 4 turnovers. Okay, so leading the way for TCU. For Ohio State, Chance Gray, 22 points, Lemula, 7 rebounds, and Cambridge, 8 assists to no turnovers, which is fantastic. Overall takeaways on this game, this is really what TCU gonna do to me on MLK Day and the Coretta Scott King Classic. This game was so boring to watch, y'all. Mind you, I watched it twice. And good God, it was hard to get through. This is what I imagine getting a lobotomy is like, okay? TCU hoops, and just, it gets to a point. Because I like Ohio State, but TCU, y'all got to play better than this. And I feel like TCU peaked too early. And I was telling my friend this. In the beginning of the season, they looked really good. What did they start off, like 14-0 or something? I wanted a challenge. They go and they lose to an unranked Utah team. That was unacceptable, okay? And now you're losing again. And so, yeah, like, I just feel like they peaked too early. I think Olivia Miles has to make better decisions, like I said, with her shot selection. Stop turning over the ball. I believe she averages 3 turnovers a game. That is too many. Marta Suarez is having a rough stretch. 9 turnover, unacceptable. I think that the defense started great, but then they made too many errors when they're guarding the three-point line. Chance Gray had them in hell. 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. When are you going to start playing perimeter defense and stop her from getting the threes, okay? They were too focused on Jelani Cambridge, which she deserves some respect and, of course, to defend her, but they left Chance Gray open multiple times, and I believe she had that game-winning 3 to ultimately seal it, but yeah, like, they just made too many mistakes on defense, too many turnovers. When you have 20 turnovers, they do not have a bench, okay? And it's just, you can see that they don't get production out of what they do have, and that the starters have to play a lot of minutes. Every time I watch TCU, Olivia Miles gets a sit for 2 seconds and then she back up. There was one game, he played her the whole first half. I think her legs started cramping or something. And he did not, like, bro, you're not helping these players. You have to get a bench. I think Sweet 16 at best right now, okay? Maybe if I push it, they get to the Elite Eight, but they have not been playing well, okay? For Ohio State, like I said, Jelani Cambridge struggled. Chance Gray was huge in this game. I like Lemula a lot. They had the better offense in the terms of the way that they were able to move the basketball, okay? Good defense, being able to come up huge and turn them over and have some things and have some momentum. Out-rebounded, less turnovers. That's why they win. But good God, that was a boring game, okay? And so now I get on to my bonus game review that I do every single week for y'all. So this week I decided I wanted to review the Texas Longhorns and the Texas A&M Aggies game. Okay, if you guys got any reviews y'all want me to review for the next one, like as a bonus, let me know and maybe I'll ask you guys on my TikTok account what y'all want. But we get into it. Okay, so let's start off with Madison Booker. 24 minutes played. She had 10 points, 4 of 10 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. Okay, not her best day shooting from the field. It's knocking on 50%, but that's one of the reasons why they were not able to take over and really pull away until the third quarter, okay? So, you know, that's something there. You know, you expect more out of Madison Booker at this rate. You guys know I like her game. I like the mid-range that she always does as well. Sometimes she takes bad shots. I think her defense is decent as well. When you have, I believe, 4 steals and 2 blocks. So, you know, she was finding a way to be impactful and everything. But I think that that's part of the reason why they don't pull away earlier in this game, to be honest. And so we look at Justice Carlton, 16 minutes played, 8 points, 4 of 4 shooting, no threes, no free throws, 4 rebound, 3 assist, 2 turnover, 2 steal, and no block. She had a good game, you know, for what she was doing. 16 minutes played, I can't really complain. And then Bria Cunningham, 13 minutes played at 2 points, 1 of 4 shooting, good God. No threes, no free throws, 4 rebound, no assist, no turnover, no steal, and 1 block. So just an off night for Bria Cunningham. Jordan Lee, so 23 minutes played, 7 points, 3 of 13 shooting, 0-7 from the 3, good God. 1 of 2 free throws, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and she had no turnover, 2 steals, and no blocks. Jordan Lee did not play well. Multiple times she was wide open for threes and she missed it, and other shots that she should definitely be making, and she has just been in a slump. And I get why he wanted Aaliyah Crump back, because we can't keep watching this, okay? Jordan Lee, it's getting to a rate, and everybody has off games, but like I said, she being in a slump, okay? Rory Harmon, 17 minutes played, 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting, no threes, 2 of 2 free throws. You had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnover, 2 steals, and no blocks. Overall, I thought that she played well. Like I said, I like how she can facilitate the offense for sure, and defensively forcing some 5-second violations. I believe she forced a 10-second violation, and she's willing to take a charge and put her body on the line, making some nice mid-range jump shots for you as well. Like I said, I would like to see her take some more threes for sure. But overall, I like her game a lot. I don't know why Vic Schaefer keeps playing with her minutes. Like, I'm tired of it. Play her more minutes. Because one of the reasons why they started to pull away was because Rory was facilitating, okay? Sometimes the ball might not go through the hoop for Rory, but that does not, you know, negate her positive impact as a facilitator of the basketball and what she's going to give you on defense. So he needs to stop playing with Rory minutes. Because this is, the second or third game in a row that he's done that. And I don't like that when she only played 17 minutes and everything. So I have to get that off my chest. Because Vic Schaefer really irritated me. He playing with her right now. Sid Berry, 15 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 4 shooting, no threes, 2 of 2 free throws, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover, and no block. So finding a way to be impactful, 15 minutes, I can't complain. Oldacre, 25 minutes, 10 points, 4-9 shooting, no threes, 2-4 free throws, 18 rebounds, okay? That's getting it done, okay? I got my Me Bounce hoodie on for a reason, because that's what we doing, okay? We had 1 assist, 3 turnovers, no steals, but she did have 5 blocks, okay? I was thinking just watching the game, but Oldacre really very much does remind me of Jonquel Jones, okay? Just in terms of, like, the kind of toughness and everything that they play with. I don't know. She kind of reminds me of her. Y'all know ever since Jonquel fell all over herself in the post because she didn't want to post up as 6'5", 6'6". There kind of is a vendetta there in a sense, but I know how good Jonquel Jones can be when she decides to give 100%, which is the only time she decides to do that is when she plays Chicago Sky for some reason. Because you have 5-3 on Camilla Head, but now I'm getting onto a tangent. But I like Oldacre a lot, offensively and defensively. She's tough, she gets rebounds, she defends, she scores when she needs to, and she does a lot of stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So, Oldacre, I'm moved, okay? Aaliyah Crump, 21 minutes played, 12 points, 4 of 11 shooting, 0-4 from the 3, 4-6 free throws, 6 rebound, 4 assists, no turnover, 2 steals, and no blocks. And not her finest hour shooting the basketball. This is her first game in like 2 months though, okay? So I'm going to give her some grace. Because we saw, some of the good stuff that she was able to do before she went down with her injury. So, wishing her the best, and this Texas offense really needs her because, like I said, Jordan Lee being in the slump with that 3 ball and in general child. So, Loris in the flood. Prenner, 4 minutes played, no points, and no really recorded stats. I mean, she missed 2 shots. Not much to talk about. Preston, 22 minutes played, 6 points, 3 of 7 shooting. No threes, no free throws, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. Like I said, I don't get why he's playing with Rory's minutes. Obviously, you got to get Preston adjusted, and you got to play her sometime because Rory's not going to be here next year, so I understand that. But I still need to watch that full press conference whenever he was talking about taking Rory out of South Carolina, talking about we looked better. No, y'all didn't. He keep playing with her. Okay, Sarah Graves, 2 minutes played, nothing to talk about really. Judd, 18 minutes played, and you had 7 points, okay? Looking at Texas A&M, so I'll just read the points, okay? So Fatama, I believe, 4 points. Emerald, 1 point. Celise, I believe, had 5 points. Janae, 16 points. And Pryor, 4 points, okay? And then they basically had no production off the bench except for Pien, I believe, with 2 points, and Lamayo with 3 points, okay? Advanced stats, scoring by quarter, Texas A&M first, and then Texas 10-16, 14-18, 3-23, and 8-23. Okay, ultimately Texas wins this game 80-35. Should have been by more, but we'll talk about that. Leaders for points, rebounds, and assists. Aaliyah Crump leading the way for Texas with 12 points. That just shows you how much in the gutter this team was. I mean, good God. And Oldacre with 18 rebounds. Madison Booker with 6 assists to 1 turnover, which is outstanding. Kent leading the way for points with A&M, okay, with 16 points. Also, she led in rebounds with 5, and then Pryor with only 1 assist to 5 turnovers. Good God. So from the field, Texas was 33 of 77, 43%, 1 of 18 from 3. They have to get the threes under control, man. So that's 6% from 3, okay? And then 13 of 18 from the free throw line, 72%. Rebounds, 58 total rebounds, which is great. 22 offensive and 36 defensive. 23 assists, 14 steal, 9 block, 12 total turnovers, 25 points off turnovers, 17 fast breaker transition points. You had 48 points in the paint, 15 fouls, no techs. Largest lead was 45%, led was 94. Texas A&M, they only made 10 shots. I did not know it was this bad. 10 of 58. Good God. 17%. 2 of 12 from 3. 17% from the 3, okay? And so 13 of 20 from the free throw line, 65%. 38 total rebounds in this game, 16 offensive, 22 defensive. 2 assists, 9 steal, 2 block, 25 total turnover, 6 points off turnover, 6 fast breaker transition points, 10 points in the paint, 21 fouls, no techs. Largest lead was 2, and percent led was 2, okay? Overall takeaways on this game, Texas looked a mess, okay? You telling me you playing Texas A&M. Mind you, LSU just gave them belts, by the way. Just gave them belt, okay? And you telling me that they should have had more of a blowout. They should have had more of a blowout. You took until the third quarter to finally pull away in this game. They were missing shots left and right. Texas A&M defense, not all that, okay? This should have been by more. This should have been 90-something to 100, okay? So they looked a mess when you can't even get it together to the third quarter. You know, the zones that they were playing kind of bothered them and stuff. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well. Like I said, stop playing with Rory minutes. And I mean, good God, the leading scorer has 12 points, okay? Looking a mess. So we'll see how Aaliyah Crump gets reintegrated back into this offense and everything. It's probably going to take, some time, I'm sure, minutes restriction and everything. Probably like, I don't know how many games, but at a certain point, she'll be starting again. I'm assuming that he's going to take Justice Carlton out of the starting lineup. We'll see how that goes. But Texas got to get that 3-ball together, because that 3-ball been in the gutter all season. And eventually that's going to matter, okay? And having to play better as a team with the facilitation of the basketball. I thought that they did some really nice stuff on defense. They forced multiple 5-second violations, a 10-second violation, and just stifling defense, making them have to take difficult shots consistently, rebounded the basketball, way better. They had less turnovers in this game, which is great. 25 points off turnovers, 17 fast break points. And so they did what they were supposed to do, but you should not be in a dogfight till the third quarter. To me, that was unacceptable. So I think Texas got to lock in. Because, whenever you had 2 losses back to back, I need to see more out of them. I'm excited to see when they play LSU and South Carolina again, I believe, this year, and seeing how they look with some other stuff. But I like Texas. They're my second favorite team. But Vic irritated me as well. They have to lock in. That was unacceptable to me, okay? So that is everything for women's college basketball, okay? Now I got 2 more segments, okay? We rolling. Let's talk about Unrivaled, okay? So let's talk about Breeze versus the Mist. So Paige tore Mist a new one, okay? Genuinely. 37 points in this game, okay? 14 and 19 shooting, 5 of 8 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws. She had 8 rebounds, I believe, and 5 assists, no steals, 1 block, and 1 turnover. Efficient, great assist to turnover ratio, and she was just doing it all, okay? Hitting the threes on you, getting into that mid-range area, and just doing what Paige does. I just love when Paige is aggressive, when she hunts her shot, when she's having a great shooting night. 18 points in the first quarter, which is an unrivaled record, by the way, okay? And it was just so pleasant to see. And the way that she's able to get her teammates involved at the same time when you're having 5 assists in the game, I was extremely pleased by Paige's performance. Obviously, okay, so I have to give Paige some love for that. Also, she had the game winner as well, okay? So you love those things. You love those things for Paige, okay? Some quick other stats I wanted to give for Paige specifically is that now she is number 1 at the top of the assist leaderboard. And that's before this last game that they just played against Lunar Owls, which I'll talk about. But she has 34 assists, Marina with 32, and Kelsey Plum with 30, okay? And she's also pledged $50,000 toward relief efforts in Hopkins, Minnesota, because as we know, and I believe I talked about this, but she has won the free throw contest, okay? She made all of her free throws in the beginning of the season, so she won that, and she donated it, okay? She said, don't be pocket watching. So to donate to a great cause just shows the kind of person that Paige is as well, okay? So wanted to take a moment to spotlight that for that specific game, and just what a player Paige is, okay? One of the best players you'll ever see in this life. I promise you that, okay? We'll look at everybody else. Rakia, 18.2 minutes played at 10 points, 3 of 11 shooting, 1 of 4 from the 3, 2 of 2 free throws, 2 rebound total. She had 7 assists, 1 steal, no block, and 2 turnover. She just did not play well in this game. Just taking some bad shots. The defense, not particularly great. At least she was able to walk away with 7 assists in this game, but just did not play well straight up, okay? We look at Dom, so 11.8 minutes played, 16 points, 5 of 12 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, 3 of 3 free throws, 15 rebounds, which I did not know she had that many, and she did have 1 assist, no steal. I believe she had 3 blocks and 1 turnover. Dom really frustrated me in this game just in terms of the shots that she was taking, and just, you got to make your layups and stuff like that as well, and it was just moments where it was like she was negatively impacting the game, and I felt like Noelle should have taken her out sooner. But Noelle, just the coaching and the rotations, I'm not a fan of personally. So wasn't her best night, shooting the basketball for sure and everything. And I was like basically pulling my hair, okay? Able to, pull together some good stuff when you have 3 blocks for this game for sure. But I get frustrated, okay? You see Dawn play and she's, like an ingenue. Like she can do some really great stuff for you. And then she has moments where she turns over the basketball and everything and catches some dumb fouls. And like the defense is terrible. And Rakia's defense is terrible too. I feel like I might have already said that. But I was just really frustrated by her in this game, okay? We look at Cam Brink. So 13.5 minutes played. She had 18 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, 2 of 3 free throws. She had 6 rebounds total and 1 assist, no steal, and 1 block and 2 turnovers. Overall, I thought Cam played extremely well in this game, okay? In the beginning of the game, Paige was the only one who could score the basketball. No one else could score. It was like 1 of 4, 1 of 5. And I did do a live for this, okay? So it's on my YouTube page if y'all are here. And y'all can check that out and see my live commentary. But Cam just started playing extremely well. She just started making baskets and stuff. And I thought that her defense was huge, especially on Stewie. She was like the only one that could stop her. I think Paige got a couple stops on her, but yeah, she was the main one who was stopping Stewie. I thought she was extremely positive in this game. And you saw her putting it together on both sides of the ball. I don't believe she got in foul trouble. She did get Lan in foul trouble though. Okay, Lan had 3 or 4 fouls in the first quarter, so really masterful with that. And just the way she will unselfishly set a screen for you, okay, play some defense for you, assist, and she's just unselfish. And I really, really liked what Cam did in this game. Like I said, putting it all together, and she was a huge reason why we were able to win this game. I don't know why Noelle does not put her in the fourth quarter clutch situations. The game went on way longer than it needed to be. That irritated me. Cam should have had the opportunity. Okay, so I was heated about that. No Beyonce. Okay. And then we go on to Kate Martin. 12 minutes played, 2 points, 0-4 from the field, 0-1 from the 3. She had 1-on-1 free throws, 9 rebound, okay, 1 assist, no steal, no block, and the 2 turnovers. I think overall in Unrivaled for Kate Martin, I think that she's found a groove. I think that she's found her role in the team and what she used to do. Take shots occasionally, but mainly rebound, play some defense, and just, find a way to positively impact the game, even if your shots aren't falling or you don't take a lot of them. So I thought Kate, I had some good moments in this game. Okay, so that's everybody for Breeze. For Mist, we got Veronica Burton. So 16.2 minutes played. She had 4 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 0-2 from the 3, and 0-2 free throws, 7 rebound, and 4 assists, 2 steals, no blocks, and no turnovers. So yeah, Veronica Burton didn't have as big of an impact as I guess you might have hoped. I feel like she takes hard shots for no reason, which I've said. She can facilitate, she can play defense for sure, but I just don't feel like the Mist coach should have played her so many minutes. That's just my opinion. And then we go on to Alicia Gray. 18.7 minutes played, 20 points. 7 of 24 shooting, okay? It's not good. 3 of 11 from the 3, 1 and 2 free throws, 4 rebounds, and then you had 2 assists, 2 steal, 2 block, and 1 turnover. I believe Paige had some good defensive moments on her, if I remember correctly, but just sometimes when she was trying to force it and take bad shots. And there was this one play in the game where Cam set an illegal screen, and then I think she ran into it or something, and that definitely should have been called for sure, and it was not called, and then she got a tech because she was mad at the refs about it. The refs are really inconsistent for Unrivaled. I've said this before, but yeah, just did not shoot the ball well, okay? Then we go on to Brianna's story. Y'all know I love Stewie. So she played 19.1 minutes, 26 points, 8 of 22 shooting, 3 of 5 from the 3, 5 of 5 free throws, 11 total rebounds, ooh, double-double. And then we had 2 assists, I believe, 2 steals, no block, and 1 turnover, okay? In the beginning of the game, Stewie was really lighting us up. We left her open for a 3. I don't know why. Okay? I think Paige got a stop or 2 on her and everything. Like I said, I feel like Cam did a main job kind of shutting her down. In the second half more so, if I'm remembering correctly and everything, but Stewie's just so fundamentally sound, can score on all 3 levels, excellent defender, heart of a champion. So Stewie was really doing her big one in this game. And to see her and Paige finally play against each other, I was seated for that. I can admit. Arike, 14.5 minutes played, 12 points, 5 of 15 shooting, 2 of 8 from the 3, no free throws, 1 rebound, and she had no assists, 1 steal, no block, and 1 turnover, okay? Y'all know how I feel about Arike. If you're new here, Arike is a shot chucker, okay? And what she did in Dallas this past year was domestic terrorism. She could have built a facility on her own with the amount of bricks that she had, okay? People defending that season, I don't know what to say. I don't like Chris, but he wasn't the one going out there and breaking shots, okay? So I just, it's just a lot. Like, if y'all watched that last season, y'all know why. But just chucking shots left and right, okay? So that's number 1. Paige had her on hell defensively, so Paige did what she needed to do. And Enrique just a shot chucker. Things that I already knew, okay? And then we look at Land, 4.6 minutes played, 2 points, 0-2 from the field, no threes, 1-1 free throws, and I believe she had 1 rebound and 1 assist, no steal, no block, and 1 turnover. I guess she had, 4 fouls in the first, but I don't know. Probably should have played more than 4 minutes, no. This reminds me of that game they played, I think it was against the Phantom and everything, and I think she caught a few fouls or something, and he took her out for some reason. Like, he barely plays her. And then in the end, when it matters the most, when you need to get defensive stops and everything, you put her back in the game, okay? So I don't understand that, because Paige, tore y'all a new one with 37 points. Like, why wouldn't y'all put Lan in for some more time? His rotations and his lineups don't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I would start Lan over Veronica Burton, if anything, personally. That, but I don't get that. But those fouls she caught in the beginning were dumb. Lee, 2.9 minutes played. She had no points. 0-1 from the field, no threes, no free throws, 1 rebound, and no assists, no steal, no block, and 1 turnover. So yeah, that's everybody overall for the men's league. Just, I don't know, she didn't get to play a whole lot. You look at the team stats. So from the field, Breeze was 28 of 58. Okay, so that's going to be 48.3%. 7 3-pointers made in this game, 43.8%. 10 of 11 from the free throw line, 90.9%. He had 46 total rebounds, which is fantastic. 9 offensive and 37 defensive rebounds. Yes, yes, yes. And then we had 15 assists, 1 steal, 5 blocks, 8 total turnovers, and you had 18 fouls committed in this game, okay? You look at the miss, 22 of 69 from the field, 31.9%. You had 8 3-pointers made, 30.8%. 7 of 10 from the free throw line, 70%. 35 total rebounds, 13 offensive and 22 defensive. 9 assists, 7 steal, 2 block, 5 turnover, and you had 19 fouls, okay? Overall takeaway, this Paige masterclass, yeah, they could never take this away from me, okay? I don't know if y'all seen that one meme, biggest boss man I ever seen or youngest boss man I ever seen, okay? Like, exactly, Paige A bad, okay? That game winner she hit over Veronica Burton, that was tea for me, okay? Like I said, had Enrique in hell. Noel can't coach. These rotations were frustrating and everything. Like I said, Dom, it got frustrating because of the turnover, the missed layup, the bad defense. I don't know why Cam didn't play in the fourth. She was tremendous. Rokia had a rough outing. Kay was okay. I think in general as a team, you know, we found it. In terms of the movement of the basketball, playing better on the defensive end, the defense still doesn't move me, okay? The only ones who consistently be playing defense really at this rate is Paige and Cam, okay? Kate doesn't get to play a whole lot of minutes, but like the people who play more heavy minutes, those two. Rakia and Dom got to work on that defense and everything. Kate be trying, but yeah, like the team defense bad. Noah coaching and rotations be frustrating me, and we needed a Paige 37 piece to ultimately ended up, you know, winning this. And like I said, when she didn't have Cam in the fourth quarter, extended it way longer than it needed to be. Enjoyable game for the most part and everything, but, you know, still some stuff that frustrated me, okay? And they be calling BS fouls on Cam. They called a fan of foul on Stewie, and she didn't even foul her. I forgot to say that, okay? Now we go on, ultimately, to the game against the Lunar Owls, okay? So going into the advanced stats for this one, okay? So Paige had another heater, okay? 23 minutes played, 28 points, 10 to 17 shooting, 1 to 2 from the 3. 4 6 free throws. You had 5 rebounds total in this game. 7 assists, 2 steals, no blocks, 5 turnovers. I don't love that number, okay? One thing about Paige, she hates a turnover. She gonna get them down, and I can trust that. She talked about this before. You'll see that one thing, and she was just saying it was something that she can control. She hates to turn the ball over. We know this. So, you know, Paige playing her game again. That 3 that she hit, that one that she got on Skylar Diggins in this game. She took a charge in this game on Aaliyah Edwards, I believe, as well. Just so many great shots. I like that floater that she hit, that reverse that she hit on Aaliyah Edwards, that was so tough. I loved that reverse as well. So just Paige being Paige, scoring in a variety of ways, getting her teammates going. When you see she had 7 assists, she had 2 steals in this game overall, and so I just thought Paige did it all. Like, Paige was just really tremendous. And I'll throw in this picture of her whenever she hit the game winner. I believe this is her 3rd game winner. I'll throw in a tunnel fit too as well. And yeah, I forgot to say that Breeze ended up winning this game 75-68, which is important to note. And then they won the last game 83-64. So I'd be forgetting to say the scores, but yeah, missed game 83-64, and then this game is 75-68, closer than it should have been. But yeah, that Paige picture whenever she hit the game winner, that aura, but Paige being Paige, okay? And I'll throw in some advanced stats that they put on the screen, but how can you not say GOAT? How can you not say GOAT? Like, oh my gosh, like, Paige really my favorite player. So now we move on to Rakia, okay? So she played 21 minutes, 10 points, 5 of 17 shooting. That's my grandma's birthday, by the way, y'all. I'm dead serious, okay? 0-1 from the 3, 0-1 free throws, 13 rebounds. She had 5 assists, 1 steal, no block, and 4 turnovers in this game. Incredibly frustrated by Rakia's performance. Rakia is one of those people who, like, when the shot don't go in, it's kind of hard for her to be impactful for the game for the most part. She did have 5 assists, so I'll give her that. But she just took a lot of dumb shots that she had, like, that she shouldn't have taken in this game. So that's why I was frustrated, and the defense being non-existent, as I stated and everything. I think that Noelle should have played her less time in this game, okay? I would have liked to see more Cam minutes. I would have even liked to see Kate play more, okay? I don't understand why Noelle continuously goes with what is not working instead of having some changes. So I was frustrated. Like, I think I said this, but I like Rakia a lot. But, you know, I was extremely frustrated in this game. You see Dom, okay, 13.4 minutes played, 21 points, 9 of 16 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throws. She had 8 rebound total, and then she had no assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 turnover. Overall, she played well. Those fadeaways, she took some bad shots in this game for sure, but overall, she played well. She did what she needed to do. That Dom and Paige connection already that you're seeing, in real time. It's just something great to see. That one assist that Paige had to her already to get her involved in the game and get her started. I thought was great and had some good moments on defense in this game too. And so, yeah, for the most part, I don't really have any complaints about Dom. I actually would have liked to see her play more instead of Rakia, because Rakia just really frustrated me, like I said, in this particular game. And she dunked in this game. I almost forgot to state that again, but I'll throw that on the screen. But we finally got a dunk in game, so I was happy to see that for Dom for sure, okay? The bench, we got Cam, 11.5 minutes played, 12 points, 2 of 4 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, 4 of 4 free throws. He had 6 rebounds total and no assists, no steal, 1 block, and 2 turnovers. Overall, I thought she did some nice stuff. Capitalizing at the free throw line, playing some good defense. She got in foul trouble, which she has to be better about that, okay? But the rest don't be giving her calls, and they be calling BS on her sometimes. Like in these games, real times, I be seeing it. But I just really think Cam is blossoming for this team at this rate, and so I'm liking what I'm seeing from Cam more often than not. Like I said, I would like to see her play more time. Kate, 6.3 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 4 shooting, 0-1 from the 3, no free throws, 1 rebound total. She had no assists, no steal, no block, and 1 turnover. So she did some good stuff. Didn't really get to play a whole lot, so there is that in this game. There is that, okay? We're looking at the Lunar Owls, okay? So, Beck Allen, 14 minutes played, 3 points, 1 of 5 shooting, 1 of 2 from the 3. No free throws, 1 rebound, and no assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and 3 turnovers. Not surprised by this from Beck Allen, because if you watch the Chicago Sky, this is the typical Beck Allen experience, okay? And the terrorism that she was putting on display for all of us to see. And I said this in my review, but this is her cross to bear. Like, it just, like, she had a couple good moments on defense, but Beck Allen don't move the needle when you 1 of 5 from the field. And they're letting anybody into Unrivaled these days, and you have to be better about that, because, like, why Beck Allen? No. Aaliyah Edwards, 16.4 minutes played. She had 23 points, 9 of 13 shooting. She had no threes, 3 of 4 free throws, 16 rebounds. Okay, we rebounded the basketball. Thank you. She had 4 assists, 1 steal, no block, and 4 turnovers in this game. Overall, I thought that she played well. She played well. Being able to finish at the rim and scoring a variety of ways for sure, having a lot of grit when you had 16 rebounds in this game, having a good moment or two on defense. But it always is the same thing that comes back to bite about Aaliyah Edwards, is that she always gets in foul trouble. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've watched Aaliyah Edwards play the game of basketball, and she has not gotten in foul trouble. Every game, she commits the most obvious fouls that you've seen, and she'd be surprised when she gets in foul trouble. She has to be better about that. So that's my thing. Like I said, for the most part, I thought she played well, but she did foul out of this game, okay, in the 4th quarter. And so that is definitely something, had she played, it could have changed the trajectory of this game, and we might not win the game, you know what I'm saying? But overall, she did some nice stuff in this game. So I'm going to give her credit. She's been carrying, along with Marina. 21.6 minutes played. She had 18 points, 7 of 19 shooting, 2 of 10 from the 3, 1 of 1 free throws. She had 5 rebounds total, 5 assists, 1 steal, no block, and 3 turnover. Marina is going to shoot the ball. She is shooting hard, and she don't care. It is what it is. She's going to unload the clip every single game. So it is what it is. It's not always going to be efficient, but she's going to shoot the ball. She's not going to be afraid. So there is some semblance of respect in that. Like one of my friends told me, y'all always know who went to Notre Dame by the shot diet. Okay, watch them play and then search for what college they went to. It might be Notre Dame. But did some nice stuff in this game. Had some good moments of facilitating. Hit some threes for you and everything. But yeah. And I think having Skylar back is really going to help her in terms of the facilitating thing, because she's really a 2. She's not a 1. And then we go into Rachel Banham, 3.2 minutes played. She had 3 points, 1 of 1 shooting. And so 1 of 1 from the 3. She had no free throws, 1 rebound, and no assists, no steal, no block, and no turnovers. Rachel Banham, don't move me. I'm moving on to Skylar Diggins, 15.1 minutes played. She had 17 points, 4 of 14 from the field is dreadful. 2 of 6 from the 3, 4 of 5 free throws. She had 4 rebound total in this game, and she had 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and no turnovers. Okay, so that's Skylar's stat line. Also, if y'all wonder, I'm drinking this is Crystal Light raspberry lemonade. The real ones, no. Okay. Overall, I thought that Skylar did some nice stuff. When she came in, I felt like that was a momentum shifter for them for sure. Her and Paige were trading shots at one rate, okay? And not a great shooting night for sure. She also went to Notre Dame, okay? But that one defensive move, I forgot to talk about this in my actual review. But she blocked Rakia, I believe, twice in a row. So she had some really nice stuff and just still finding a way to be impactful. And like I said, the facilitation that she's going to provide, it's definitely going to help Marina, because she is a point guard, okay? Timmy Fagbenle, 4.2 minutes played. She had 4 points, 2 of 3 shooting, no threes, no free throws, 2 rebounds, no assists, no steal, no block, and 1 turnover. Not much to talk about. Now into the advanced stats, okay, Breeze 28 of 58 from the field, which is going to be 48.3%. They made 2 threes, okay, and so that's going to be 28.6%. 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 75%. 35 total rebounds. Ooh, AZ Flood jersey number. I got AZ Flood jersey right here. And so then it's going to be 13 offensive, 22 defensive, 12 assists, 4 steal, 2 block, 15 total turnovers, okay, too many, and you had 16 fouls. For Lunar Owls, 24-55 from the field, 43.6%. You had 6 3-pointers made, 31.6%, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, okay, which is going to be 80%, 31 total rebounds, 11 offensive, 20 defensive, and you had 13 assists, 6 steals, 4 blocks, 14 total turnovers, and you had 22 fouls, okay? So that's where we at with that. That is where we at with that, okay? And so I forgot to write down my overall thoughts on the game. But basically, I felt like for Breeze, this was kind of a regression offensively. Like I said, it just gets to the point where I'm going to take a shot and just not playing team basketball and recognizing that there's a better shot available and kind of having better core vision. So that's something I didn't like. I didn't like the turnovers when it was 15, 16 turnovers. So having to take better care of the ball. The defense as a team, like I said, Cam and Paige are the only one who played consistent defense, and you gave up 6 threes in this game. So having to be better from the perimeter as well, and just not giving up some easy shots, not sending them to the free throw line as well, okay? And we just made this game harder than it needed to be. There was a point where we were leading this game in the beginning, and I mean in the third quarter as well. But when you make costly mistakes like turning over the ball and you have lulls where you're not able to score, when Noel has dumb lineups, it's not going to help. Like there was a point we couldn't score in the third quarter, and for some reason Noel take Paige out. Paige, our best offensive player. Why would you take Paige out, and why would you not take Rakia out and then put Dom in or put Cam in or something? Like I don't understand that. Her rotations without Paige are awful. And I think I said this, but they got to set screens and they got to take the pressure off Paige. And this is something that I've been saying in my Dallas reviews, because they are going to double team her and just having to make some more shots and missing some easy layups and stuff that's frustrating and everything. So yeah, overall, I feel like this was just regression for the team, made it harder than it needed to be, offensively and defensively. And Noelle is certainly not helping with the rotation. She always goes away from what working, I swear to you, and she leave in people who are not having a good game. So it just gets to a point, got to figure out the rotations without Paige. And I'm glad we were able to win the last 2, because we won the first 2, lost 2 games, and then this one. But it's just like if Paige doesn't have a good game, then this team is cooked, okay? Noelle literally is being carried by Paige yet again. I don't know how people can watch these games and can watch Noelle coach at the Seattle Storm and confidently say that Noelle's a good coach. Multiple times she messed up her rotation. She don't take a timeout at the right time and everything. She uses her challenges for dumb stuff. She used a challenge in this game, which was dumb, and it was overturned because that was clearly a foul. I don't know how she won her challenge in the last game, bro. She did a challenge in the last game, and Dom clearly fouled the other person, and she somehow won that one. But it's just multiple times, and she's not like, she don't be yelling at them enough for me. She be too zen. Like I said, they be giving me Chris Cole-Planis vibes. So I don't know. Like, that's just my takeaways on Noelle, on X's and O's. I think there's a lot to be desired for Breeze Basketball Club. Some quick thoughts on the other clubs and everything. I don't know if I talked about this, but Hive did win against the Rose. So I definitely wanted to shout out them for that, because they were able to have a consistent performance offensively and defensively, okay? And I thought that they turned their defense into offense. So that was my general thoughts on that game. So I wanted to talk about that, okay? And then also Phantom, I really enjoyed that last game that they played against the Vinyl. Got negative at some points, okay? So you see those things. I believe Aaliyah Boston fouled out, as she should, always using those elbows on people. Kiki comes and hits the game winner, okay? She did that too small on one of the players, so I kind of like that overall, and I think that they just shot the basketball better, playing better team basketball. That tandem with Kelsey Plum and Aaliyah Boston's doing wonders. Natasha Cloud did some good stuff for you. I like what Kiki came in and did at the end. So you got a lot of Tip Hayes. You have a lot of positive contributors, okay? Vinyl, Courtney Williams don't move me. I like De'Erica. Who else is on Vinyl? Erica Willard didn't have a great game. Ray Burrell, please. BG was decent. You know, she did have that dumb foul in Aaliyah Boston, which she shouldn't have done. But yeah, there's that. I forgot to say my overall thoughts on Mist, and also on the Lunar Owls in the last 2 games. Basically, Stewie doing a carry job right now. Things that we knew. Alicia Gray, I think that those are going to be your best 2. Lan, he doesn't play her enough for some reason. Veronica Byrne takes hard shots for no reason. In some games, she's not impactful. Arika's a shot checker. Lee, I would like to see some more. And we just outplay them, you know, on really offensively. And we really just, like I said, LA Sparks of Unrivaled. So we outplay. And then for Lunar Owls, like I kind of already talked about earlier, it is really going to be Marina and Aaliyah Edwards doing a carry job. I think Skylar's going to help a lot, but Fee, this was about to be a generational carry job, and now it's just cooked, and now it's just cooked. Aaliyah fouling out of the last game certainly didn't help. We just had a little bit more to give offensively. That's kind of why we won the game, able to make a couple shots, because it was closer than it needed to be. And so, yeah, the coach is really not moving me. Like I said, it was going to be a generational Fee carry job. So, yeah, but I'm telling y'all, if y'all didn't watch Phantom and Vinyl play, watch that game. That game, one of the best games of the Unrivaled season. It might be my favorites after it's all said and done, okay? And then my last section, at least my planned last section for this video, is going to be talking about the WNBA, giving some thoughts. So Dallas Wings schedule is out, okay? And so overall takeaways on that, I don't like that we are going to be playing Indiana for the first game of the season. Why? Because the first game of last season was whenever Indiana played Chicago, and then whenever Caitlin pushed Angel, and that entire situation, and Caitlin is still a fake demon to this day for running away from smoke and just saying that it was a good takedown. No, there was something behind that. You need to stand on that. And the racism that Angel has endured and continues to endure at the hands of Caitlin Clark fans. I don't like that. I don't like the tone that it set for the season. I thought it was nasty, and I don't want Angel to ever play in Indiana again because she doesn't deserve that, okay? Everybody that was tap dancing for white people, like, I hope y'all feel good about yourselves, because at the end of the day, they don't care about y'all. So I was not pleased about that at all. But, you know, some things that you will be seeing overall is that we're going to play Minnesota 4 times, I believe. And we're going to also play Seattle 4 times, okay? And so this is just more further confirmation to me that we're going to draft Daisy, okay? And people saying that, you know, we won't take her and all this other stuff. Everything's there. With the amount of times that they went to games 4 or 5 times, they're clearly watching the tape. We need help in the backcourt. Paige and Asia played together well previously and brilliantly and won a chip. So, yeah, it's just kind of be like, oh, this is what you could have had type situation, which they never could have had because we're taking AZ first. So that's kind of confirmation with that, okay? There's going to be no back-to-backs for Paige. She'll love that because she talked about her patellar tendonitis and about how that's something that she is still having to work through, you know, and everything. And so I think it's good, you know, that Paige is not going to have any back-to-backs as well and everything. And I'm happy about those things. There is going to be a break in September. That is for the World Cup, I believe. So we got those things. It's still 44 games, but, you know, excited to watch Dallas Wings this season. We should have a lot of improvements. I'll put the Lynx schedule on, and I'll also put the Chicago schedule on. Chicago schedule is only pertinent if Angel plays. Hopefully she gets traded to Dallas or any other team except for the Fever. And the season does start earlier, okay, May 8th, which I don't like that the season starts earlier. It should start later, if anything. I was thinking, you know, beginning of June. So the players, like the rookies and everything, have the opportunity to rest before the season starts. And there's a lot of players who play, you know, international and, you know, with EuroLeague and all the other stuff, and it's just important that their body gets the rest. But it is going to tip off on May 8th, okay? All 15 teams are going to play an opening weekend. This is from Twitter, and I already talked about the World Cup break, but that is going to be happening as well. And so regular season ends September 24th, and playoffs begin September 27th. So regular season, Nelson's last game was what, 9/11? So there's that, okay? I don't know why training camp is beginning so early, like 6 days after the draft is absolutely insane. But, yeah, excited to see what's happening on there, okay? And so I realized I didn't give enough thoughts about the WNBA teams and kind of what I think that they needed to improve on going forward and, you know, all that stuff. I kind of just talked about the players I like and how all that stuff. I didn't really talk about how the teams played overall and what they need to fix. Dallas, a lot of stuff to fix. Like I kind of already told y'all, Chris can't coach. He's supposed to be some defensive guru, and yet our defense was absolutely abysmal, okay? So having a problem with those things, 100% and everything, and just him playing people out of position and everything, and just the whole culture of it. So I think having Jose is going to help. We're going to draft AZ, get some agents of free agency. But yeah, watching Dallas was a really painful experience. I only watched because of Paige, but a lot of work to do, basically, at this rate. It was not enjoyable. And Enrique going to Toronto Temple. Golden State, I think that they just had too many injuries in the playoffs and they didn't play well. So, you know, that's kind of there. I kind of already talked about the players. Aces, I was happy to see them win that chip over the Phoenix Mercury ultimately because I explained that I don't like AT because of what she did to Fee in game 2. And so to see AT lose yet again, I was sealed by that, okay? And then the memes that came after that, I thought that that was funny. So, you know, shout out to them and everything. I think that the fan base is annoying and everything, but I was glad to see that they won that. So, yeah, obviously they have some pieces to move off of. Joel Lloyd and KB, it's been time. They need to fix that bench. But, you know, they got that dub. LA Sparks, I think I talked about this. The defense is terrible. And so I think that Lynn Roberts should have been fired, basically. I don't know why she still has a job with them because the defense was terrible. That's why they didn't make it further. When you eliminate the mid-range, I think that that's that. I think that Julie Allemand needs to go. Quite frankly, as I've already discussed as well, and fixing the bench. I think that that's going to be key for them. Minnesota, like I said, stud buds have to go. You have to break it up. It's like at a certain point, they care too much about the outside stuff and the streaming and not the basketball. And it's just the basketball struggling. I'm tired of all these things that are, said about Fee and everything because her teammates keep choking for her. And so they got to break it up. I'd rather keep Anastasia than Courtney because I think she's good off the bench. Y'all know I don't like Courtney at the rate. I'm fine with keeping McBride. Bridget Carlton has to go. Lan, I'm willing to, give her another, kind of chance. And you know what I'm saying? I was just frustrated by the playoffs and everything, fixing the bench. I still think Cheryl Reeve, best coach in the league. They'll take Lauren Betts in the draft, help with that, get some free agents. But got to make some big things because I'm tired of, Fee's legacy being because Courtney Williams and other choke jobs and everything. So, have to have that there. But I think that they're going to take Lauren Betts, as I kind of already said. We look at the Phoenix Mercury, okay? And I just think overall that Khalid Copper is their best player. I think Satu, she even came back when she shot 2 of 17. AT, y'all never going to win a ship with AT. They gave up a lot for AT, but I just think it's diminishing returns. Shout out to Sammy Whitcomb. Mac is not really doing a whole lot. The Wanna Bonner, we should probably hang it up respectfully. And so, yeah, don't enjoy watching them. Don't enjoy, I didn't like how they played us. And I don't like the physicality that they're allowed to get away with. And Nate Tibbetts want to cry and complain about that when it was done against you. So I'm not moved. Portland Fire, they haven't started, so I don't really have any opinions on them and everything. I hope they do well. Seattle Storm, very boring to watch. Need to get a 3-point specialist. It's not going to be easy, though. So I think they're going to take Olivia, okay? At this rate and everything, Gabby Williams can do some good stuff for you. Overall, it was just running back the same things for multiple years, expecting different results. Terrible 3-point shooting. Defense wasn't as good as advertised, in my opinion, and they were just extremely boring to watch, So I think that they need to get some excitement in the city, get some new agents. We'll see how the coach goes. I don't know. She's kind of too nice for me, but, they got a lot of rebuilding to do. Skylar NECA, great players. I think that they're trying to get a young core, so I think that, they'll move on from them respectfully. Atlanta Dream, it was really the 3 or die for Atlanta, which I personally did not appreciate, okay, and layups and stuff and eliminating the mid-range when you get embarrassed by the Indiana Fever in the first round of the playoffs. That's very shameful. Alicia and Ryan, didn't have good moments in that series, so I feel like they should make a choice between them personally, because I feel like they both are not on all the time, especially when it matters, so I feel like they should make a choice between who they're going to build behind and everything, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, not my favorite to watch either. And that game against the Valkyries when they were both shooting bricks, one of the worst games of the season I saw. Chicago, get Angel out of there. Everybody else, I think I said this before, it's like the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins go there, they get a check, they don't care about winning. They choke in cold weather, Tua got exposed, and now they're moving on from him. It's the same thing with Chicago. Angel really the only one who care. And Camilla can be great. It's just she doesn't give 100% all the time. I think that's why I get frustrated with Camilla. But Camilla's great. But those are the two only good players and redeeming players on that roster. Haley Van Lith is really struggling in terms of creating separation and getting pressured on the basketball. So things that Haley Van Lith is going to have to learn. But Chicago's just dreadful as a team. Every time Angel's out, they get blown out. They don't respect her, suspending her for 1 game. The ownership won't build the facility. It's just a hot mess. I don't want Angel in there anymore. I'm hoping she gets to a new place, okay? So that's my takeaway on Chicago. We look at Connecticut Sun. They got a bright future when you look at Sanaya Rivers. Okay, who knows if Marina stays, but Lacan has been great and will be a great point guard in this league. For sure as well, Anissa Morrow is a great player. You got Aaliyah Edwards over there now. So they got a young core they can build around. I still think that the coach is awful because why wasn't Sanaya starting when she's such a game changer defensively and the shot is coming for her. But yeah, they got some promise. They started the season off a lot better than they ended it. They can be exciting for sure. And some great defense stuff. But, future's bright for Connecticut, but I think that coach is terrible. The Fever, y'all know I don't like the Fever. I stated my opinions on Caitlin Clark in the last episode if y'all did not catch that. But yeah, I just don't like the organization. Their fans are racist. They're allowed to play physical and get away with it. And their whistle at home, I think, is particularly egregious. So I am not a fan of the Fever. And basically the only time I watch them is whenever they play my teams, okay? And that Commissioner's Cup against the Lynx, I still have PTSD because Lynx choked that away. And the officiating was awful. I don't know how Fee didn't get to the line. And then against Dallas, just the physical. Like the way that we won that 1 game by 1 point. I'll never forget that stuff. And that's why I don't like Leah Boston because she played dirty. And Unrivaled, she can't do that as much because she gets called for it. And she's a good player. She doesn't need to do that. Y'all know I don't like Caitlin Clark at this rate and everything for multiple reasons. The way that she plays and the way that she carries herself, I personally don't like. Kelsey Mitchell, I think is ethical. I like Kelsey Mitchell. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not a fan. Stephanie White is not really moving me either. I'm tired of the complaints. And then we look at the Liberty. Sandy being fired needed to happen because, like I said, she overworked her starters to the bone like Sabrina and Stewie and relied on them too much because she can't coach. And then her being fired needed to happen. She wasn't using the bench, overplayed Jonquel, didn't play, all that, yeah, it had to be done. Sabrina Streaky, I already told you all this, but I do like Sabrina. Stewie is generational, obviously, so they'll build around those two. Natasha Cloud, I don't think should be back for another year, but that's just my subjective opinion. I was not moved. We'll see what happens overall with that. Marina, I'm not moved. I'm not moved by most of the New York Liberty roster, so we'll see. They got a new coach from the NBA, from the Warriors, so we'll see how that comes to fruition in them and everything. So I'll watch them on the side. I'll watch them on the side for sure this upcoming year. I kind of caught more of their games toward the end and everything. Firing Sandy 100% was the right decision. I like their vibe, their atmosphere. I think that they could use the uniform redesign and everything, but I think a lot of it was just the way that personnel was used, and that they could get some better personnel. Because whenever they're pressuring Sabrina so much on the basketball, I think Natasha Cloud, like, that didn't work. I don't know. We'll see what happens if, you know, they give them another year to kind of work everything out. But, I don't know. It's kind of my takeaways. Toronto Temple is brand new. There's nothing to really talk about except for Sandy is going to be there and Enrique will be joining her. Okay. And then the Washington Mystics, their home whistle is pretty egregious to me. Okay. So I will say that I don't like watching those games. I'm not a fan of them as a team. Okay. So that's something there. That's something there. Sonia, don't have anything against her. Some of her fans are weird toward Paige, and I don't like that. And so, yeah, some of them are Caitlin Clark FC, just cosplaying as Sonia fans, which, whatever. And she's not a shooting guard. I said that a billion times. I like Kiki. They got, Georgia coming in as well. Shakira, I feel like y'all be overrating her. Like I kind of already talked about. If they draft Flau'jae, that would definitely help them. But they got a young core and they're building on to a better future. I don't enjoy watching them. So yeah, the teams that I watch and that I root for, like I said, is Dallas, Minnesota, Chicago, if Angel's there. Okay, those are the three teams that I watch every single game for if my favorite players are playing. If Paige, Fee, or Angel out, I do not watch. Those are the teams that I'm going to go for every single time. And then I'm planning on watching LA on the side like I did this past year because I had some enjoyment in the New York Liberty. And I'll catch pretty much all these teams in some fashion, you know, and kind of try to give you guys updates like I did last year because it's important to be updated on what's going on. The Fever, I specifically only watch them when we play them. I can't stand on that much. So yeah. But those are the teams I really root for and that, you know, I'll be watching for the most part. The Aces, I don't really enjoy to watch them. Their home whistles also egregious. Valkyries, Fever already talked about. Those are the three teams. I was like, I don't really look forward to it. But the Fever is the one team that I will not watch in any of their contexts except for their playing our team. So yeah, that's kind of some of my overall takeaways on what these teams need to do going forward and everything. Like, you got your key players at this point. It's just about retooling and getting them players to help, you know, and everything. And we'll see who wins the championship and everything. Hopefully Dallas is able to make the playoffs and all that other stuff. But I realized the second episode, I didn't give as much detail in terms of my thoughts on all these teams that I could have, okay? If I have any other thoughts, you know, I'm sure I'll edit this in as I edit everything. But yeah, I think that that's going to be it for episode 3, Winter Storm. It is actually snowing here, y'all. I live in Texas and it never snows here. And now the light flickering and now the light flickering. So yeah, hopefully I can get this out to you guys on time. It might be a little bit late and everything. This is going to be a doozy to edit. But thank you guys so much for being here. Episode 3. Really enjoy doing this podcast every single week for you guys and getting all my notes organized and, you know, editing it and when it comes out to fruition. Again, want to say so much, you know, appreciation for you guys and how you support the podcast, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's on Spotify, Apple, however you listen. And, you know, even if you tell other people about it, any fashion that you share it in, I put a lot of effort into this every week. I really, really enjoy it, and I'm just extremely thankful for you guys being here. I really enjoy this medium. Always trying to think of new things to add to this to make it more exciting for you guys and everything, but just thank you for being here in whatever fashion that you are. I just realized I forgot to add this in, but Harry Styles' new song, Aperture, ain't so bad, okay? His new era starting and everything with his new album. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I get that this is not basketball related. I forgot to mention it last week, but I will be tapped in. Hashtag MusicFC, MusicFC. If you enjoyed this video, you can like it down below. It helps me out a lot in YouTube algorithm. You can subscribe to the channel as well. All my social media links will be on here on YouTube and wherever you are listening as well. And like I said, check out the TikTok page, Anastasia250_. I'm giving you guys reviews in real time. I do like to go live on TikTok as well, interact with you guys in real time as well. I think it's extremely important that I do that. And I'm really thankful for those who found me on TikTok and who are supporting me. You know, it means a whole lot, you know, and, you know, regardless of how you found me, I obviously still do appreciate it. But yeah, it's just important, you know, to get involved with everyone who's been supporting me. And I just really enjoy making these videos and talking with you guys and talking about the game and everything that I've learned, I will continue to learn, and that's, you know, I can share with you guys. It's been a really great community, and I'm very fortunate to be in this position talking with you guys about the game of women's basketball, okay? But yeah, that's going to be it for episode 3, okay? I'll see y'all next week for episode 4, and we'll talk soon.